NKTelco Sports welcomes you to Ohio Northern University, where the Muskingum Fighting Muskies take on the ONU Polar Bears.
Right? We're not doing pregame.
This
right
game
now.
brought to you by Minster Bank,
right now, correct?
Keyhole Pizza,
Isaac,
21st Century Kitchens,
you going to
Elmwood
pregame,
Assisted
then
Living,
Keys?
Schwederman Pharmacy,
Pregame, commercial,
New
come
Knoxville
back,
Supply,
go through.
Minster Dental Care,
Yes,
Right.
NKTelco, Francis Furniture, St. Mary's
Okay,
Trucking,
that'll be
Cy
good.
Schwederman,
So we're just talk a little bit here, short
West
and
Staff,
sweet.
Radio Hospital, First National Bank, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, J&R Auto.
This is an NKTelco Sports production.
Today's OAC football game between the Muskies from Muskingum and the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern. I'm Jeff Henshin. Alongside me today is Matt Everidge, and we're into week number 6 now, Matt, with the OAC conference. And both teams enter today's matchup at 2-3. Both teams obviously looking to get to 500 and build off of that. Polar Bears suffered a loss last week here at home. The Muskies a win last week in their last outing.
Yeah, Muskingum's coming off a good win, looking to get their first back-to-back win, starting off the best season they've had since 2010. On the other side with Northern had a game where they was in it. Fumbles and turnovers kind of led them away, and they wasn't able to finish the game out.
Yeah, Ohio Northern last week losing a tough one to number 23, John Carroll, here at home. So they'll look to kind of regroup and take care of the ball a little better and hope for good things here for the Polar Bears. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff here from Ada on Ohio Northern University football.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
There's a lot of early mornings that go into 40 years of service, a lot of miles on these tires, and millions of pounds of cargo have traveled in these trailers. It's about dependable service, the kind of service that shows up 30 minutes early every time, that gets your products, cargo, and business from point A to point B safely, quickly, and efficiently. We are St. Mary's Trucking, traveling the roads of commerce in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky. Men and women who produce the solutions that make your business grow, because the most important thing to them is you. Here's the thing, if you're the kind of guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes farming, who gets up at dawn, determined to get the best crop and the best yield, why surrender to the mercy of the water table? Cy Schwederman Incorporated can lower your water table to an average of 2 to 3 feet below the surface, allowing you to grow stronger, healthier plants that root deeper, that are more resilient to the elements, that enable longer growing seasons, and can produce higher results in the fields and in your pocket. Trust CSI, your drainage experts since 1946.
As a business owner, do you find yourself reviewing too many applications, or are you the job seeker filling out dozens of applications in an attempt to find employment? West Staff has been bridging the gap between employers and employees since 1988. Jobs range from manufacturing and clerical to specialized fields such as quality control and engineering. West Staff has the ability to operate as your company's entire HR department or simply payroll employees on an attempt-to-hire basis. West Staff, your partner in business.
Welcome back. Ohio Northern has won the toss and will receive, and both teams now entering the field. Before we have the opening kickoff, we will go through our keys to the game today, brought to you by Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Salina, where the dealer makes the difference. First, for the Muskies of Muskingum.
For Muskingum, they're looking to get that back-to-back wins, like we said earlier. Also, special teams, they got the #1 punter in the OAC kicking for them, and their coverage team is the best coverage team in the OAC with the swirling winds today. Definitely expect to see something happening with the ball when it's punted in the air. And finally for them is to be control the line. They want to control the offensive defensive lines, and that'll help them control the clock.
And now for the Ohio Northern University Polar Bears.
They need to establish a run game early. They're a balanced team. They're 1,100 yards in the air, 1,400 yards on the ground, so they want to get that running game started. They also want to control the time clock. They're going up against the team that's 33rd in the nation in offensive control of the ball. Also turnovers. Turnovers have haunted Northern this year. They actually had the number 1 team in the country down a little bit, and then they just fumbled it away and gave it away. So just controlling the ball and the turnovers.
Thank you, Matt. And also Butch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Salina, where the dealer makes the difference, as we are just seconds away from the opening kickoff here. And this is a 7th game this season for both teams, and for Ohio Northern, just their 3rd home game of the season. It's also homecoming weekend here in Ada. Ohio Northern leads the series between these two schools. Overall, by a brief margin, Ohio Northern owns a 28-23-2 margin. Ohio Northern has won the last 4 games, including a 42-7 victory last year in New Concord. And last year they opened it up with Reed Allen returning the opening kickoff for a touchdown, and Ohio Northern never looked back as they roll to the 42-7 victory at New Concord. And as Matt mentioned, the swirling winds, it is definitely breezy here at Ohio Northern. So we'll see once how that affects not only the punting game, maybe the passing game as well.
Gators Smith back to receive this kickoff. Going to be kicked off by Tom Flesser. He is not their kicker. Joe French will be doing the kicking duties today. Time and temp right now, it's 50 degrees here at Northern. That's what we expect.
Decent coverage by the Polar Bears, and the Muskies will take over in their first possession at the 23-yard line, and that offense will come out, and it's led by their quarterback, number 10, Griffin Degner, and he will lead this offense. Degner on the season, passing-wise, 98 completions out of 151 attempts. He has thrown 8 touchdowns and 3 interceptions on the season. His favorite targets have been Granger Long and Jordan Scanlon. Both those players in the high 20s on receptions. Long with 2 touchdown catches, Scanlon with 3, and also Damon Jones with 2 touchdowns.
That's a deep pass down the left side to number 30. Wilson running
nice
down, tackled at
catch.
the 17.
Well, they open up throwing the ball, with the wind and all. It's pass and catch in a big opening possession for the Muskingum Muskies as they are deep into Ohio Northern territory. That number 30 is Warren Wilson out of Salon High School, and he was open down the left side. Just his 4th reception, and quickly they go back to work. This time Northern ready for the run, and they get it for a short game, but Warren Wilson, just his 4th catch of the year. He had coming into this game at 3 receiving catches, 2 yards.
And Scott Rapps with the tackle there from the defensive line. He's a senior coming in. You'll note with Northern, too, most of their offense is led by underclassmen, so this is definitely a rebuild year for Ohio Northern. Leading the team for Northern this year is Dan Eller, the safety, and Zach Smergy, a local WBL native. Ball handed off up the
Back-to-back
middle.
stops of, boy, that was Warren Wilson again. So he's had, if my math is right here, 3 touches already, the only 3 touches, and the second and third time, Matt, the Polar Bears have cramped down on Wilson. He comes into the game with 22 rushing attempts for just over 100 yards, and maybe a little bit of a surprise, keeping the Polar Bears maybe expecting them to go to either Long or Scanlon as receivers, or expecting possibly Scanlon as a runner, but Warren Wilson has shown up with the first 3 touches.
If my stats are right here, Wilson's only had 3 yards in receiving all year.
Yeah, I said that earlier after the big catch, and that one was incomplete. So after the big play to get the ball down to about the 24, it's going to create now a 4th and long from the 21. So this will be a 48-yard field goal.
In the pregame, I was watching him kick, and he was doing really well. He's kicking from about 40 out. So Cody Dent, the kicker, number 90, looking to put Muskingum up 3-0 here early in the first quarter.
The flag in that end of the end zone is being whipped around by the wind. We'll see once how it affects his kick.
It's going to be blocked right up the middle by number 66.
There's a penalty flag down after the block. Northern will take over. We'll see once.
It looked like a hold on the center, Brandon Peluso, from up here.
All indications are that it'll be Ohio Northern football.
Here's your replay. Kyle Godwin coming right up the middle, getting his hand right on the ball, taking it down.
Yeah, he got through the line, really didn't even have to jump, just physically overpowered the Muskie in front of him, and the low trajectory kick, somewhat of an easy block, if you will, and Northern dodges that opening big play. They cramp down on the next 3 opportunities. They get a big special teams play. Now their first look on offense with Will Freed, the sophomore quarterback, running the offense. And first attempt is a pass, and it is incomplete. So Northern opens up with an incomplete pass. So how Northern's offense, running game has been a pleasant surprise for them. Freshman Christian Williams has gone over 100 yards in each of his first 6 college games. He played his high school football at Anna High School and has stepped up very nicely here as a freshman for the Polar Bear offense.
Going to have to look for Northern to try to get this ball on the ground. They're not going to control the clock with miss passes. Handed up number 33, and that will be Hasselu picking up 5. Give him 5.
12 rushing attempts coming into today for 64 yards. Again, Williams leads the Polar Bears. 132 attempts for Williams, 810 rushing yards, or I should say 773, and 6 rushing touchdowns. So right now it's Halu sliding off to the left side of Reed's hip.
3rd and 4.
Need a first down here. They do get the pass and catch, and it will be very close. The chains are on the other side of the field. It appears he has a first down.
So Logan Ray with his first reception of the game. Pick up a 6. Be first.
Good job by the Polar Bears on that big 3rd down opportunity, as they didn't want to go 3 downs and out. They moved the chains, keep the momentum going following that blocked field goal that gave them great starting field position.
Freed with a pass. Going over the top.
Knocked away. Nice defensive play by the Muskies, number 5.
Logan Ray did a good job there, too, of defending the pass. Come from offense to defense real quick, trying to knock it down.
Had to be underthrown a little bit. Caleb Gator's actually the man in maybe better position to catch the ball.
Ball comes back. You can see Ray comes right over top of the defender, gets his hands in there enough to knock the ball away. Northern keeps the ball on the 49.
2nd and 10. Reed in a shotgun. Halu again will slide off to the right side this time. Will keep the ball. Stiff arm will get him back and just over the line of scrimmage for a short gain of 1. Gain of 2 for Freed, just his 32nd rushing attempt. Doesn't run the ball a lot on the season, just 100 yards rushing now in his 7th game. Well, didn't like what he saw downfield. Didn't want to force, as you mentioned earlier. Turnovers have plagued and probably cost Northern a win last week against John Carroll. And as you mentioned earlier, they were playing Mount Union here 3 or 4 weeks ago and had them on the ropes, but turnovers really made it difficult for the Polar Bears.
It's wide open coming in, number 44. That'd be a sack for Chris Weck. Just came off the left end. No defense on the left-hand side there for the ONU Polar Bears. So that's going to lead to a punt with a loss of 5 yards.
So the Polar Bears do gain a first down following the blocked field goal, but then the drive stalls, and they will hustle out the punt team here with a 4th and 12 from the ball on the ONU 47, and doing the punting for the Cavalier, or for the Polar Bears is a former Cavalier, and that is
Kyle Bergman, number 97. Ball swirling, called for a fair catch, and that is ball down on the 7. Okay. We'll take a break here on NKTelco Sports.
When you choose Radio Hospital for your wireless needs, you get 13 convenient locations, no waiting and long lines, premier service after the sale, and all the latest technology. With locations in Lima, Findlay, Minster, Kenton, Defiance, Napoleon, Wauseon, Bryan, and Archbold. We are right around the corner from you. Visit us today and experience the Radio Hospital difference. We are simply neighbors serving neighbors, providing a refreshing alternative to high-pressure stores. Radio Hospital is your Verizon Wireless premium retailer.
Muskingum quickly goes back to work. A decent gain on first down, and need to be careful down here near their own end zone that they don't turn the ball over. Northern would like a turnover down here.
Muskingum going back to Warren Wilson again. I believe he's the only player that's touched the ball so far, not getting it spread around like they would want to at this point. Wilson still behind. Quarterback Griffin Denninger.
Degner with the snap. Again, another handoff to Wilson. This time, Smurgy made first contact. That's enough to slow it down. Number 22, Zach Smurgy. Didn't get credit maybe for the tackle, but boy, held him up enough that his buddies could come over and finish it for a short gain. And boy, big 3rd and down and 6, Matt. Can they hold here and force a punt?
Yeah, they went ahead and they brought in another defensive back here for this 3rd and 7. They just want to protect the backside if they can, sitting up with only 2 linebackers and a 4th defensive back.
So 3rd and 6, clock running, just under 9.5 to go here in this first quarter. Big play for the Polar Bear defense. Pressure and a double deuce. Jack Smurgy is going to get credit for the sack. The first contact was about on the 11. It looks like is where they're going to spot the ball. They pushed Degner back, but good job by the Polar Bear defense.
It'll be 4th and forever from the 6 now. This is an opportunity to possibly get a block. Here's our replay. You can see Smurgy coming right up the middle untouched and taking Degner to the ground.
Smurgy, a junior out of Wapakoneta High School, and we have a conversation right now with the officials down on the 11-yard line. It's 4th and 13. Clock stopped at 9:09, and for Ohio Northern, they've got Reed Allen back well inside Muskie territory on about the 35-yard line waiting for the punt. Have no idea, Matt, what this could be about.
I don't know if they're looking at the spot where the ball's at. Smurgy's alma mater last night had probably one of the best games I've seen all in the last 10 years for high school ball. Walpock losing to St. Mary's Memorial 13-7, both teams state ranked.
Not for sure what was going on there, but it'll be a punt now as we expected. Clock winds at 9:08 and counting. Reed Allen back inside Muskie territory waiting for what probably is going to be a shorter punt, although that wind really held it up, Matt.
Calling for the fair catch, and he just lets it bounce.
Needs to get out of the way. That one almost could have taken a bad hop, if you will. Reed gets out of the way. Northern, great field position. And Northern, their second possession now, has to shake the defensive unit's hands. The special teams got it pinned down there, and the defense did their job, kept it down there.
Yeah, defense pinned their ears back, stopped them right where they could get the ball back. They actually gained about 7 yards all in all after the punt. So.
Right, they punted probably last time from about the 47 is where Northern got rid of it. Now they started inside the 40, so field possession, a field position, if you will, flipping the field now on Muskie side of the field. And again, still in the backfield is number 33, David Hasselou.
Got one-on-one coverage here up on the close side. Would be a good opportunity to go deep without no safety protecting.
They keep it. They look for
he shot down
the
the
big man, Logan Ray, and that one overthrown. So Logan Ray has been popular today. He's already drawn 3 targets his way.
Yeah, we don't have Ray listed as one of the top receivers right now. Normally he goes to Reed Allen or to Christian Williams.
Logan Ray is 6'6", senior tight end out of Van Wert. So a big target, unable to connect. Now it's 2nd and 10 from the 39.
Northern getting to the line quickly. They're just not letting the play clock run down.
Halou keeps it. Nice cut back, and he falls forward for 3. Good tackle by the Muskies, keeping that play from going much longer.
So now Northern will be facing their own 3rd and 7.
Cheney Fulton, number 36, a senior linebacker, in there to stop that rush attempt. And another critical 3rd down here, 3rd and 7. Northern so far 1 of 2 on 3rd downs today. Would like to convert this one, keep the good field position, and take advantage of it. Pressure, needs a block.
Nice job coming back. Said that name before, number 44, Chris Weck, just coming across, getting around the offensive lineman.
Not much downfield for the Polar Bears. They do find Ray, who couldn't come up with it. So 4th down, will they go for it here? It was kind of an awkward field position. Too long for a field goal.
There he's rambling, looking, trying to get the ball downfield. Went to the short outlet. Definitely imagine that Northern will go for it here.
And they keep the offensive unit on the gridiron, and 4th and 7. Almost a jump by the Muskie. He gets back in time. Pass overthrown, and
that's the 3rd time that he's found himself on his back. Coming around again on the opposite side is Chris Weck again, doing a great job from the defensive end for Muskingum.
Malachi Noletti, the intended receiver, Ohio Northern turns it over on downs. And right now, other than that one big play, the very first play of the game, Matt, from the Muskingum, the big pass play from about, the 20 to the 30, a 50-yard pass play, there's not been a whole lot of good-looking offense right now. The defenses are dominating.
On the passing of the ball, it seems like everything's going high, but with this win that's happening right now, I think the team that establishes the running game as quick as they can is going to be the team coming out on top today. There's new running back now. And that's going to be a quarterback draw right up the middle.
Keeps it nice.
And he just got plowed.
Smurgy there to hold him up, and I believe 99 finishes him.
Yeah, Raps and Smurgy just combined to totally annihilate that. They're going to give him 2, but
he paid for it.
Looks like 1 from here.
So the quarterback took a beating on that play, and you can only handle so much of that before that becomes a factor in the game. So good stop there. Still, though, 2nd down, 8 now. Ball on a 38.
Ball handed right up the middle to number 1, Jordan Shalon.
Smurgy again in on the first touch. Again, both him and Rapp, number 99, making some good presence there. And it's a 3rd down here. If they can get another stop, they force a punt and can try to get that offense in rhythm here early in this game. Just over 7 minutes to play in the first quarter.
3rd down and 6. Been a lot of long 3rd down plays, not a lot of 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2.
Off schedule is what it is. You just don't like those 3rd and long, as you mentioned. So neither team's offense been able to get into schedule, and that one deflected and will fall down for an incomplete pass.
Cody Cox getting his hand up, the outside linebacker.
To 4th down again, and that'll bring out the punt team for Muskingum. As Matt mentioned earlier, they're number 1 in the nation. Number 1 in the OAC, 33rd in the nation on punt average of basically moving the ball 40 yards downfield where the offense would start following the kick, the catch, and the return. So good punting and good coverage by the Muskies.
Northern backing off. Looks like they're going to try to set up a return here.
Samuel Green punts it away, and it is fair caught by the Polar Bears, number 6, Reed Allen. So that is where the Ohio Northern offense will start now their 3rd possession, as Muskingum, I maybe said that earlier on, Muskingum had the opening possession to start the game, so now Ohio Northern will be their 3rd. Each team here today looking to go 500 in the OAC. Both teams coming in at 2-3. Muskingum is 3-3 overall, while Ohio Northern is 2-4.
Last week, Muskingum, they was down 13-0 in the 3rd and came back and won. They're traditionally a second half team, so the slow start to them is really nothing new. He just faked everyone out.
Yeah, he faked me out as well.
It's always nice when your running back's getting tackled 7 yards down the field because they still think he has the ball. But that's a nice run by quarterback Will Freed.
Number 10, Will Freed gains 10. And again, not a rushing quarterback like some quarterbacks can be. More of a thrower is Reed. Came in with 31 rushing attempts. Again, this is his 7th game, so not that he doesn't rush, but more of a thrower than a rusher.
Handed off up to number 33.
He's trying to stretch it around the outside. A good coverage by Muskingum. Little running room for Hasselou, and it'll bring up 2nd and long.
Chris Weck stepping up again. I think if you're going to run the ball, you'd be able to audible off whichever side he is on. I would avoid him at this point. We've said his name just as much as we have a quarterback's name at this point. He's in on every tackle.
So 2nd and long. Hasselou still the running back of choice right now for the Polar Bears. 4 wide receivers. Reed finds Reed Allen. And from the 41 down to the 32. Nice hook up there by Reed Allen. or to Reed Allen from Will Freed.
Quick 29-yard pickup. The Polar Bears got something to work with down to the 31-yard line. Replay brought to you here by Bud's Chrysler.
Live action right now with
Will
Reed will hand off. Hasselou finds some running room, untouched, down to the 15. So good play action fake there. No one saw Hasselou, and he scampered basically, Matt, untouched all the way down to the 15.
Yeah, it looks like they're establishing the run with the pass.
Well, those
normally
two
that goes the other way.
You know, if one's working, the other one benefits from it as a result. So Polar Bears, nice looking drive so far here.
Nice throw
Ray
out.
catches it. He will go down to about the 3.5-yard line. Freed hooking up with Logan Ray. And the Polar Bears now some consecutive first downs. They'll drop the chains. It's first and goal from the 4.
Yeah, Ray put the ball on the ground again there with a fumble, but luckily he was there to recover his own fumble.
Ohio Northern has fumbled the ball 7 times, losing 5 of them this season. Had a case of the giveaways last week, which hurt them. Pass to Logan Ray, touchdown, 4-yard pass and catch. Will Reed to Logan Ray, and at the 4:23 mark, Ohio Northern scores the first points of the game to go on top 6-0.
Coming in now is going to be their kicker, Joe French, number 90. I'm sorry. Joe French will be their kicker for this extra point. Looking to go up 7-0.
Malachi Noletti, the holder. The kick is up. The kick is good. Joe French gives the Polar Bears their 7th point. We'll take another look at the touchdown score here.
Just going straight to the middle,
back of the end zone. 6-6, big target, big score. Ohio Northern on top 7-0. We'll take a break and come back with more OAC football on NKTelco Sports.
At 21st Century Kitchens, we know that every home has a style to go with it. From first-time homebuyers to families with the pitter-patter of little feet to teenagers taking over the kitchen, 21st Century has what you want, customizing the style, layout, and price point to fit your budget. Kitchens by Craftmade and quality cabinets, countertops by Wilson Art and Cambria, along with availability of granite, marble, and wood.
See what's in store behind the yellow door for your 21st Century Kitchen.
Welcome back. Ohio Northern takes the ball and drives a nice drive down the field on their 3rd possession. Logan Ray has come up big today, came into the contest with 14 receptions, 118 yards on the season and a touchdown, and they've called his name a lot today. He records a 2nd receiving touchdown, a short 4-yard pass and catch from Will Freed.
Lynn's already knocked the ball off the tee once. See if they're going to have to get a holder up there to hold it. That normally does give an advantage to the defense or to the receiving team.
They will reset it without a holder and probably give him one more grace opportunity here.
Yeah, so far we're looking at everything listed and free. He's 3 for 8 so far on passing.
Logan
Ray's 3 receptions for 20 yards.
Now they will require a Polar Bear to come in and hold the ball. Matt talked about the wind today. Not so bad where we're at, Matt, but down on the field, obviously it has had some effects as the United States flag blowing, the flags on top of the goalpost blowing. So there's a kickoff down about the 3-yard line. It'll be returned. A good chance here for the Polar Bears to stop the Muskies.
Ray with the miss on the kick, flag coming out. Looks like it's going to be a hold against Muskingum.
Gators on the return out to about the 26. We'll see if that's where they will start. He had a decent return. He fielded that down on a 3, which forced him to come out. And a lot of times if they do that, you like to get him stopped before the 20. The hold is correct. That'll back them up. So Muskies will start, again, with maybe some unfavorable field position.
That penalty was actually called on a player out near the 40. Was nowhere near the ball. Was no need for it, just simple errors. So a mistake already puts them down to the 16.
Other than the one big pass play that they started the game off hitting Warren Wilson, a 55-yard pass and catch, their offense has really been stifled by the Ohio Northern defense. And Jack Smirgy's been big on some sacks and tackles. Scott Rapps has been in there. as well as Landry Hostetler. That pass overthrown.
Still trying to get the passing game going. That was to Caruth, or Hayes Caruth. So pass incomplete, going to bring up 2nd and long. And Zach Smirgy having a real nice game, just 2 unassisted and 3 assisted tackles, 1 sack.
Smirgy has played in 23 games with 18 starts here in his 3 seasons as a Polar Bear. 18 tackles in a game was his high last year against Capital. Had a big game last week in a losing effort. So another good stop by the Polar Bear defense on that front line. No rushing room available for the Muskies. And you mentioned earlier, Matt, there's been a lot of 3rd and longs, especially for Muskingum, and they're facing another one here on 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Scalum with his best run so far, picked up 2 yards there. He's now had 3 attempts for a total of 4 yards.
Scalum leads the Muskies in rushing with just under 400 yards coming into the contest today. He also has 2 rushing touchdowns. As a team, the Muskingum Muskies only average 115, and that is near the bottom of the OAC.
So far, Northern doing a good job on time possession. He's coming right up the middle again.
Pass thrown and knocked away. Good defensive play by the Polar Bears. No flags. That'll force a 4th down, and good pressure again by the defensive line. Degner, not a lot of time to look around to find an open receiver, and the one he did see was pretty well defended. So
Schmergy and Hostetler has been all over him so far in this first quarter. If you're just joining us, ONU up 7-0 that just scored prior to this possession for Muskingum.
Another punt opportunity here for the Muskies.
Northern stepping back. Look for number 13. He almost got to the ball before on the last kick. He's open coming in. Oh.
Another low, short kick.
Fumble.
And there's going to be probably a penalty as a Muskie ran into the Ohio Northern receiver, Reed Allen. As long as he wasn't blocked into him by his own teammate, there should be a penalty on Muskingum for interference on the catch. But boy, that's always a dangerous play. They're talking. I don't know if the Muskie was blocked into Reed Allen. If he was, it's a live ball.
Yeah, it was blown dead quickly.
It is interference, so you'll see some contact there, and evidently was not pushed into Reed Allen. And what's been 2 kind of scary punts. The one before short-hopped Reed Allen, he got out of the way. You never know which way that pointed ball is going to bounce. But with this penalty, Northern, again, great field position here to start their drive.
Yeah, it looks like they're giving them an unsportsmanlike for that. So
that's a dangerous play.
That's 15 yards, and that's a dangerous call because that's the first of 2. He gets a second, he's going to have to take a seat.
That's, one day, obviously for safety reasons, you just can't. The receiver has no idea that you're coming down, especially I believe it's a fair catch. So
puts Northern on 37, knocking on the door again.
Will Freed looking for 6. Receiver
and that is a nice catch out of bounds. Tough. Picked up by number 1, Hadley.
Brendan Hadley, almost a super catch. It'll be one of those great catches that never happened because it was out of bounds. But, boy, matter of inches from being a quick score for the Polar Bears. And Hadley
yet to get a catch today, so that would have been his first one.
Just coming into the game with 6 on the season. So, again, not a highly used receiver, but, boy, just fractions away from scoring 6. He stays in the game out wide to the left. 3 receivers on the right side. Freed will wait for the snap from center. Keeps it, throws, finds Reed Allen. First down, little move to free himself from defender. A nice 13-yard pickup.
Allen down now to the 19, 1st and 10. Polar Bears looking to move fast. Waiting on the call from Coach Dean Paul. Sends it in.
Dean Paul in his 13th season at Ohio Northern University with an 86-44 record. He's 10-2 against Muskingum in his career. Overall, Coach Paul's been coaching football 17 seasons. Again, this is his 13th at Ohio Northern, the 86-44 record, 10-2 against Muskingum. Hasselou finding running room around the right side. Nice 4-yard pickup. We'll bring up 2nd and 6.
He gets it down just beyond the 15. There's a nice block. If you Watch the replay. Watch number 88. He comes down and cracks and opens this wide up for Northern.
Might have been also number 54. Nice job.
Will Rankin with a nice block as well.
Yeah, the
Playing
center.
the tackle.
55 is Will Rankin. He's a center. He will snap it back to Freed. Freed keeps it. Open receiver on the far left.
One to beat.
Reed Allen in for the touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown pass and catch.
The 15-yard.
15 yards, sorry. Freed finds Allen, and boy, 2 quick possessions, 2 quick scores for the Polar Bears, and they have opened up a 2-score margin here now. And
they scored first at the 4:23 mark, so 2 minutes and 30 seconds later, they're in again. Here's your replay after the kick.
Number 90, Joe French, to do the 14th point. It is up. It is good. Minute 48 left, and here is that 15-yard touchdown pass. Allen wide open, the throw right on the money. A little bit of contact, but not enough, and he muscles his way in for the score. We'll take a break and come back with more Ohio Northern football here on NKTelco Sports.
Your parents have given you so much throughout the years. They were there when you won first place. Your first heartbreak. Your first car. Your first wreck. Graduation. Planning that special day. Is it time to give back? Give your mom the life she gave you at Elmwood.
Welcome back on Northern, and just in the past few minutes, Matt has done a nice job offensively, and the scoreboard shows it.
Yeah, they've scored quickly. First at the 4:23 mark, and now at the 1:48 mark of this first period, or first quarter, getting ready to kick it off again.
Both those drives, if I'm not mistaken, both started on Muskingum's side of the field. One was just a short punt that Ohio Northern forced. The other one got great advantage, if you will, with a penalty on the fair catch interference. So both their drives were quick, although they were very short, not a lot of yards to go.
It was a nice deep kick, picked up at the 2, coming up the middle. He's
nice
still
return
running.
Out to the 36. Nice return by number 22, Desmond Wadden. And you mentioned that kick not going into the end zone, unless they're going to let it bounce into the end zone. He's got to run it then. And, boy, if you can get him stopped inside the 20, that's a win, or inside the 25. But Desmond Wadden does a nice job getting the ball out across the 35 to the 36. And now we'll see if that offense pretty much, Matt, to this point, hasn't been real good other than one play. But other than that, now the Polar Bear defense has been dominating.
Ball being handed right up the middle to number 20 or 30.
So Wilson again, the featured back today for Muskingum. No room for him.
Kind of makes you wonder what's going on that they're not starting their normal starter in there at that position. I don't know if there's an injury over there. We'll check on that at halftime. But
while you're checking, see if Christian Williams is hurt too. He hasn't played either, and not sure. But Northern getting it done here lately, and Muskingum still trying to find someone that can break through this orange and black defense of the Polar Bears. They've been pretty good much of this contest, just under 60 seconds to go in the first quarter. Wilson, nice run. Be short of about 2 yards now. Bring up a much more manageable third and 2. More on schedule now. The offense will have a much more desirable chance to move the chains.
Jason Lucas come up from his free safety position to get that tackle. Northern does a good job with having their defensive backs come up, step in. They're being led by a safety on tackles.
Sometimes when your safety is a leading tackler, that may seem bad because that means a lot of yards downfield, but that time he's able to quickly, as you mentioned, come up, make the play, make the stop. Now 3rd and 30. See if the Polar Bears defense can win the battle, and penalty flag is thrown. It is kept. It is fumbled.
Ball's on the ground.
Picked up by Northern.
Number 8's got the ball running down the field to be Hostetler.
Well, I thought he was going to go to the house. Number 12 there to make the stop.
I think it's going to come back. It looked like Northern player got into the back of the legs on a clip.
Let's see once here. Number 12, Damon Jones made the touchdown-saving tackle. The penalty, I thought, was before
Before the fumble.
Before the fumble. It's going to be holding on Muskingum. Northern will decline that. So the penalty goes against the offense. They fumbled it. Ohio Northern picks up the fumble. I'm not for sure who scampered down the side. I thought he was going to the distance. Damon Jones.
Hostetler. Number 8, Landry Hostetler, I thought, picked it up.
So he did a nice job returning it. And again, boy, this is the third possession in a row, I believe, that they've started well inside Muskingum territory. And the past 2 times, Matt, been very successful. Sorry, I called you by your formal name.
I'd look to see Logan Ray possibly just on a deep post on this. I mean, if you got a chance to go up 21 before the first quarter ends, only 9 seconds left on the clock.
They went big time the last time trying to hit Brendan Hadley. They had it, but he was out of bounds. We'll see if they go for the home run or they will keep it, and he is sacked. So that is how the first quarter will end. Number 35 for Muskingum.
Tim Oosley with the tackle, and we'll go to a break here on NKTelco Sports.
A good first quarter. 12 minutes are in the books. We'll take a break and come back with more football on NKTelco Sports.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
If you want to save 70% on your heating, cooling, and hot water costs, the answer is right under your feet. Let New Knoxville Supply install a water furnace geothermal system and use the natural temperature from the earth for a more constant temperature in your home. Also ask about our new Symphony home management system. Control temperatures, track energy usage, and receive safety alerts for everything, including your sump pump. All from anywhere, anytime. Now is the time to calculate your savings at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Welcome back. Second quarter action here. Sorry, the first 15 minutes. First 15 minutes are in the book. We will start here as there's motion on the line of scrimmage. We'll see which direction we'll move. False start against the Polar Bears appears to be the call. And Matt, this is going to be back-to-back negative plays. Tim Oosley, number 35, recorded the sack to end the quarter. Now Polar Bears backing up 5 yards. Not a good way to start a drive with great field position.
It's going to be 2nd and 22, which just is pretty much 4-down territory. The kicking game has been going better this direction for distance, but yeah, when you're sitting at a 2nd and 22, that really is kind of disheartening for the offense, especially up 14-0.
Big series for the offense as they don't want to pass up this great starting field position. They've had 2 back-to-back plays here. They'll try again. Hasselou will take it and try to gain positive yards. He does around the left side, and some nifty running down to the 29. So Hasselou does what he needed to do, and that's get something positive for the Polar Bears, and it gets them almost back near to the original line of scrimmage. Bring up 3rd and 13. So out of schedule as the offense, but maybe, like you said, 2 downs to get 13 yards.
Yeah, it was a nice 9-yard pickup. They sold it pretty well. The defensive lineman went straight for the quarterback and let the runner keep going.
Freed looking downfield, has to move around just a bit. Pass caught inside the 20, nearer first down. On the reception, Malachi Noletti. And give Freed credit, keeping that play alive. Had to move a little bit, but pretty decent protection.
Yeah, good job moving his feet. You can see Chris Weck coming in on here. Just comes right on around the end. Barely misses him. Steps up, throws the pass in. A little high, but controlled.
For Noletti, that'll put him right around 300 receiving yards on the season. Came in with 15 catches, 293 yards with a touchdown, and that one probably good for 7 or so, so he's right around 300. 4th down, 3. Hasselou has some room, 1 man to beat. He will get the corner, be pushed out of bounds, and they're going to give him a first down. So 4th and 3, 4th and 4, he gets just enough.
Got a replay coming up here. You can see him. He just swings it out. Nice little wheel route. Gets the ball coming out to the end. He knows he has to get to the 15, takes that extra step, and gets the first down.
Yeah, the defender just didn't have a good angle to tackle him to prevent him from going forward. Actually pushed him forward a bit, if you will. And Hasselou, enough strength and speed to get the corner, and more importantly, a first down just outside the 20.
Quickly here in the second quarter, Northern's knocking
Or,
on
I'm
the
sorry,
door.
ball on the 15. What am I looking at the wrong line here? As Hasselou will be stuffed there, ball down to the 14-yard line.
Nice tackle by number 44, Chris Weck, also assisted on the tackle by number 36. That'll be Chaney Fulton, another senior linebacker. First time we've said his name today.
Will rank at number 55, the center. His guards are Aaron Honius and also Nate Jones. The tackles are Carter Kemper and Kyle Gunterman. So those 5 guys doing a pretty good job so far today on that offensive line, giving Freed some protection and Hasselou some running room. And he's
nice cut
Hasselou's
back.
going to get near and give
He is
him
in.
down to the one. Oh, touchdown on this side. 14-yard run by Hasselou. Good blocking by those guys up front, and David Hasselou puts the Polar Bears up by 20.
We had a real nice cutback on that. I don't know if we have a replay of that or not, but he just totally cut back and went against the grain and picked up the additional 10 yards he needed. So on to kick the ball is going to be number 90, Joe French.
Had a busy first half so far, which he doesn't mind. He'll look to go 3 for 3.
That is
and
good.
He does. So 12:34 left. Look, take another look
We'll see
here.
that replay. Just came right on up and around, and then there's the cut right on the 10 to go back across and in. Touched by about 7 players. Still got in the end zone.
We'll take a short break and come back with more Ohio Northern football on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Welcome back. The Polar Bears have opened up a 3-touchdown score, 21-0.
Yeah, he just came off a 6-play, 76-yard drive for the touchdown, going up 21-0. Muskingum going to need to do something quick if they're going to get back in this game.
So the ball again blown off, and we saw this before. They gave Ohio Northern 1 grace last time before calling in a player to hold it. And they will let them try again. Again, the wind a little noticeable today. Right now, Ohio Northern not having any effects so far. And short kick. Evidently, Matt, the wind's blowing left to right today because we've seen punts get held up. That kick just pushed badly to the right. Wind helping it go out of bounds. Muskingum, though, will get decent field starting position.
Yeah, they should come out and start on the 35 with the penalty for kicking it out of bounds.
I think they get an option. I'm not real sure.
With this
That's
wind,
where
I
it
wouldn't
goes.
want it back.
You get an option because the ball is sitting on a 31. We'll find out right here for the man in white.
We're going to give it to him on the 35.
All right, 5 yards added on from where it went out of bounds at. So went out at the 31, add 5 yards onto that. It's at the 36. And that's where Muskingum will start. And they need to find some offensive rhythm, continuity, confidence, whatever you want to call it. They find a wide open receiver, a good start to this drive. Number 11 down inside the 45 to the 42.
Along with a quick pickup of 22 yards. And this is what Muskingum needs coming in. So far, we've been talking about time of possession with this team. They're holding right even at 7:06, but find themselves down by 21.
Ohio Northern hasn't had it long. They've had such short drives, so to speak. So Granger Long, you mentioned the reception there. His 30th of the season came in with 329 yards receiving. That led the Muskies. Has 2 receiving touchdowns. That one a big first down into Ohio Northern territory. And Muskies need to keep something going here. They go right back to Long. A nice catch. And a couple more yards after catch, but Granger Long now kind of left wide open.
It's another 16 yards for him. Take the ball down to the 23-yard line of Northern. Muskingum trying to get somewhat of a hurry up going here.
So they do have the ball just outside the red zone. It sits on the 23, and
Degner doing a good job of controlling the offense right now.
Muskingum needs a score here to get some rhythm back. Degner, no room to go.
Yeah, Warren Wilson fell down right up against the center, and that kind of broke that play up. I don't know if that was a busted play or a planned run by the quarterback on the option.
Didn't work well, whatever it was, and give credit to the Polar Bears again. The defensive front line, nose tackle Mike Cunningham, defensive end Jason Hunley, defensive tackle Scott Rapps, defensive end Mark Aguilar. Those guys have played pretty well today up there in that front. We've already seen a couple sacks, several quarterback hurries. Here's another sack.
That's going to be number 92, Hundley, coming around the end. He'll be sharing that tackle with number 11, Cody Cox. And a quick loss of 9 yards takes it to third and 18.
That was a team sack. I mean, there was a host of guys that, were right there at point of emphasis and just basically steamrolled over the Muskie front line, and that brings up that was a big, huge loss of downs. That's about the worst thing the Muskies needed. Now it's 3rd and 18 from that 31.
They still got 2 downs. If they just keep calm and pick up half of it, they can pick up the other half and hopefully continue the drive.
Degner will drop back a bit, waiting for his receiver to open up. A little miscommunication there as kind of held up down the field was Damon Jones. Never really could break free, and the ball falls to the ground, brings up 4th and 18 from the 31, and obviously I believe you would think they would go for it here. The wind, I think, is probably pushing them left to right a little bit. We've seen some punts going right to left that have been held up, but you're down 3 scores early, and it appears the offensive unit is going off. Will it be the field goal or the punt team?
Well, I can definitely see him attempting a field goal here.
Cody Dent will be the kicker.
He was putting them in from 40.
Dylan Strine will hold, and snapping will be Cole Counts. The Polar Bears have blocked one already today.
49-yard attempt. Ball's up. And just barely enough leg, and that'll give them 3 points. So Muskingum now on the board, trailing 21-3 here in the second quarter.
Nice offensive series for the Muskies. They do crack the scoreboard. We'll take a break with 10:15 left. You're watching OAC football on NKTelco Sports.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Welcome back here. 21-3 your score. The Muskies get on the board with a 49-yard field goal, a 6-play drive that went just 33 yards. A decent job, Matt, I think, of the Polar Bears. They gave up a couple big catches too long along the left side, but then came up the big sack that kind of took them out of touchdown zone, if you will, and forced them to make a very long field goal, which they did. So hats off to the Muskies, but maybe a Polar Bears prevent that touchdown.
What the Muskies doing now, that's a good thing for them just getting on the board because it does flip the field again and puts it at an even playing field. Most of the plays been on their side of the field all day today.
Polar
Ball
Bears
fumbled.
Muff the snap and recover and still get it out near the 25. So
we'll spot him at the 27.
Jamison Scarborough dropped the ball but did a nice job recovering and getting it out across the 25. So the offensive unit will prepare to head out again. Head coach of the Polar Bears is Dean Paul. Assistant coaches Glenn Schutzko, Mike Smits, Devin Russell, Aaron Krebs, David Price, Pat Lambert, Denny Compton, A.J. Haddam, Tony Robb, Kyle Miller, Leonard Gleaves, and Jake Crowley. The assistant coaches for head coach Dean Paul, who his team coming in today 2-4 overall, 2-3 in OAC play, and have had loss to some couple good OAC teams in Mount Union and John Carroll. Both them games they were competitive in, and last week maybe the harder one to swallow with all the turnovers against John Carroll, I think 5, and lost to Heartbreaker, but battled well a month ago or so when they played Mount Union here and came up short on that one too. So they've been playing some good football. Record just doesn't maybe show obviously what they'd like to see, but that's why you play and you get better.
Yeah, Mount Union is the last team to beat them in the OAC is Ohio Northern. Beat them two years ago.
So 2nd and 7. Freed finds his receiver, Malachi Noletti, and Noletti nearly spun out of that tackle. And he tried to juke and got another yard or so. Boy, he breaks that tackle. He's still running to the left.
Yeah, there was a wide open field in front of him. Just had to beat the one defender. Good job by the Muskies to get in underneath there and get him tackled.
3rd and short, 3rd and 1. So very much manageable here, a situation the Polar Bears don't mind being in at 3rd and short.
NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of college football on Channel 3 in HD or Channel 503 on October 22nd at 11 p.m. and Sunday, October 23rd at noon.
Freed waiting on a snap, gets it, hands off. David Hasselou, first down. He wasn't touched until he got past the line to gain and then falls forward for 2. So Hasselou doing a nice job gaining the first down.
Yeah, hit the O gap there right between the guard and the center. The offensive line is definitely controlling the front of the Muskies right now, and that was one of the keys is they needed to control the line, something they haven't done yet.
Rankin, the center of that line Matt has talked about. Ray in motion. Handoff to Hasselou. It's kept, I should say. Freed finds Ray. He has a first down as he has pushed out of bounds, but not until the first down. So another nice throw and catch. Freed hooks up with Ray.
There's a nice pickup by Bernard Johnson running over there to get the tackle. Got a lot of players on this Muskies team that's playing both ways. He's traditionally a running back. Back there playing linebacker now.
So inside of Muskie territory, ball on the 48-yard line. So another good-looking drive here for the Polar Bears. As they will try to, plenty of time left until halftime, just under 8 minutes. Freed might almost
good job there by number 15. Jacob Yost just stepping out and swatting the ball down.
Reed Allen, the intended receiver. I was almost thought Reed Allen got pushed from the back, but maybe it was a bang-bang. Good play by Yost, as you mentioned.
Yeah, his left arm was running pretty free down his arm, but Yost with a good defensive play hit it. Headlinesman couldn't see it, so he got away with one.
2nd and 10.
Still waiting on the call to come in.
The shot clock. The play clock was down to 13, and Ohio Northern will take a timeout. Their first of the half. We'll take one with them with 7:51 left in the second quarter. It's Ohio Northern 21, Muskingum 3 here on NKTelco Sports.
You owe it to yourself twice a year a checkup at Minster Dental Care. Our specialized doctors, Jim Overman, Jim Myring, Sean Sharp, and Philip Slunkowski, are ready to give you the smile you've always dreamed of at any stage of your life. Pediatric, orthodontic, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry are just a few of the services offered. Our latest advancements include CEREC dentistry that allows us to create and deliver a crown in one convenient visit. We're located on State Route 66 in Minster, 419-628-3380 to schedule your appointment today. You owe it to yourself.
Ohio Northern has taken a timeout with 7:51 left. They face a 2nd and 10 and had some time left on the play clock. Obviously, something didn't look right for the offensive unit, so they take a timeout, talk things over, and again, we'll try to keep their offense moving here. They've been pretty good the past few possessions. After a kind of a rough start, they've responded well, and that's Hadley with a pass reception. He gains about 6, so I'll bring up 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
So Hadley gets listed on the statistics. That's his first catch of the game.
He had the one nice catch just out of bounds. It would have been a touchdown. I mentioned his name earlier, but like I said, it will be one of those great catches that never happened.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of getting the ball around. Allen's taking on most of the responsibility, then followed by Ray, each with 3 receptions.
3rd and 5. Freed finds
again.
Ray. He, works for it, and I thought he's got it. It was going to be short. The one lines judge really, I think, has it marked to the right. I thought when he did the spin move, he was going to fall forward.
Ray does a nice job of giving a big target. to the quarterback. I mean, when he turns towards him, he just puts his arms out wide, letting him know, hey, I'm here.
6'6", 240, so that alone, if he just stood there, would be a big target. But you mentioned kind of boxing out or using his arms makes a much bigger target. And I think they got a poor spot, but it's 4th and 1, and most offensive teams will say, we can get 4th and 1, don't worry about it. Let's line up and go forward, and we'll see if the Polar Bears can be successful on 4th and short.
He's giving up 5 yards on the snap. That's the only downside.
Boy.
That's a nice pitch on the option.
Boy,
down to the 30. That would be a pickup of 8. They're
Will
plenty good.
Freed, that was went from oh crap to oh yes, as he dang near did not get it off as Muskingum got in there. The option works nicely, the good pitch, the good catch, and you mentioned the first down. Taking a look at this, Matt, walk us through it.
He comes out on the side, and here he comes down, cracked down on, but just barely got the ball out.
It just maybe looked like a short option. Usually you see the guy run a little bit further. This time about 2 steps, and he had to get rid of it. Nice job by Freed. Haslou also nice job. Haslou head down, really not touched until he gained about 4. Falls forward, maybe from there, maybe a 4 or 5 yard gain.
Down to the 27.
Clock running, under 6 minutes to go until halftime. Again, Muskingum received the opening kick, so Ohio Northern will get it to start the 3rd quarter, and a lot of time left here, but always like to score right before half and get the ball back to start the 3rd quarter, kind of a 2-for-1 before the other team's offense gets a chance. And right now, Ohio Northern trying to stay on top here with their offensive momentum as Haslou, short gain, good job by the Muskie defense.
Yeah, the sweep just hasn't panned out as of yet. They've tried that probably 5 or 6 times here in the first half. Haven't really got the corner unless they're going on the option. So now it brings up 3rd and 5. If you're just joining us, Northern scored twice in the first quarter, once in the second, leading 21-3 against Muskingum.
3rd and 5. Freed being chased out of the pocket. Open receiver will be a first down, and is that Logan Ray?
That's Ray again.
Well, he's been a hot commodity today for Freed, and again, a big target. It is a first down, so good job. The Polar Bears move the chains and keep the clock moving, and more importantly, inside the red zone at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, Ray second on the team with 238 yards coming into the game, but he just is having a great first half here. He's probably responsible alone for 6 or 7 first downs.
Came in with 14 catches on the season, 118 yards. And
I went with the wrong stat. I'm sorry.
Doing a nice job today, maybe as Haslou is tackled. So Ray and Haslou getting some additional work, if you will, today, and both of them have done a pretty good job when given that opportunity. As 2nd down 8 now facing the orange and black as they look over for the signal.
And like you mentioned, we haven't seen Williams all day today. He is their best tailback.
773 rushing yards, 6 consecutive 100-yard rushing games. His first 6 in college, and yet to step on the field today. And Polar Bears have used the next man up, and that's been David Haslou, who's answered the call nicely.
Another 4-yard pickup's going to make it 3rd and manageable.
We talk about time and possession now. Now Ohio Northern's really eating up the clock, and it's been more times than not Ohio Northern's had the ball. And you mentioned it was the Muskingum Muskies that came in 33rd in the nation. 33rd in the nation, 2nd in the OAC of time and possession. Ohio Northern 8th in the OAC. So, a lot of times that quick scoring offense of Ohio Northern, your offense isn't out there a lot, but today it's kind of turned into that a little bit where they have been scoring and also controlling the ball.
And that's pretty.
Not long. Nice pitch. Won't really be, get a first down.
It's going to be caught by number 6 at Reed Allen again.
That was more of a normal option, if you will, but that one seemed to take forever. We saw the other one on 4th down. It was a bang-bang play, and Freed found Allen, and now it's 4th and short.
You look at the time of possession for Muskingum leading the OAC and everything. Now that is also, or 2nd in the OAC, but that's also something that you have to look at is they haven't played John Carroll yet. They haven't played Mount Union yet, which is your number 1 and number 23 team.
Well, number 1, number 2 in the OAC, but nationally ranked team. So, what you're saying, maybe a tougher schedule for them coming up. Ohio Northern's already faced them and really competed very nicely against them, but don't have the win to show for it. This will be a 26-yard attempt.
I'm going to have a timeout called by Northern.
Coach Paul will take a timeout. We will take a break and come back with the field goal attempt with 2:30 left in the half here on NKTelco Sports.
Jump, jump. What? Oh, come on. Set.
Plastic surgery is very expensive today. Coach.
Jet! Jet?
Come on, shoot him.
Need more bandwidth? Switch to NKTelco and run all your devices.
For the Polar Bears, Joe French, 26-yard attempt here. Ball will be snapped from the 9, put down on about the 16, add 10 for the end zone, and there's your 26-yard attempt. There's your 26-yard make. So add 3 more. The Polar Bears respond back from the three-pointer from Muskingum. They answer with one of their own. And at 2:26 left, it's back to a 21-point margin.
Score 24-23. Teams are on the timeout, so we'll take a break as well here on NKTelco Sports.
At Four Seasons Drive-Thru, we offer weekly specials that are sure to satisfy all appetites. Monday through Thursday, come in to enjoy our daily lunch specials. Friday is our Get It Till It's Gone fish special. Friday and Saturday, grab a 16-inch 3-item pizza, 10 wings, and a 2-liter for just $20. Sunday, we also have a 3-piece chicken for $5 and a 16-piece for $20. Four Seasons Drive-Thru, great drinks, great food, wonderful service, and amazing prices.
Ohio Northern back to a 21-point cushion. As I mentioned, they answer a Muskingum field goal with one of their own, a long drive of 15 plays, 64 yards. For right now, I'll just say they took a lot of time. We'll get the detailed information later, but keeping control of the ball, Matt, and give us a chance real quickly. I'll let Matt go through some of our sponsors for today's game.
Yeah, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Francis Furniture, J&R Auto Repair Services, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan, NKTelco, Minster Dental, Minster Bank, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Schwieterman's Pharmacy, Elmwood Assisted Living, 21st Century Kitchens, Radio Hospital, Westaff, Cy Schwieterman, and St. Mary's Trucking.
A thank you to those fine sponsors that allow us to bring you this. And this today is Ohio Athletic Conference football here at Ada, Ohio, home of the Polar Bears as they are taking on the Muskies from Muskingum out of New Concord, Ohio. And the home team right now on top, 24-3.
Right now, this is for 4th place in the OAC.
That last drive for the Polar Bears, as I kind of vaguely said, a long time of possession. They had the ball for 7 minutes, 42 seconds. He is down in college football when your knee hits the ground, so a bad break for the Muskies. But talk about time of possession, Matt. 7 minutes, 42 seconds. And granted, they didn't get a touchdown, but they got points. And right now, Polar Bears kind of controlling this game, although the Muskies did put some offensive continuity together their last drive, but a big sack by the Polar Bears really pushed them back and really stopped that momentum. They had to settle for the 49-yard field goal by Cody Dent. So deep inside their own territory, it's careful now for the Muskies that they do not throw the interception or commit a fumble.
We're just trying to get some room here.
Oh, nice play action. That's nice play action as the receiver, number 12, I believe, makes the catch out to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Jones with the ball.
Boy, nice play action. First I thought the running back had it. Then I thought Degner kept it, or had it, which he did, and then rolled out and threw a nice play. And, boy, that'll all be wiped out. Ineligible man downfield. So lineman, it's kind of a timing thing. I think they count, and they know the quarterback's going to throw it, and he just jumped it too early. And that'll wipe out that nice pass and catch from Degner to Jones.
Yeah, Degner's had the flats open all day long today, especially on the far side.
Yeah, we saw that's where Long made those nice catches the last drive. And, yeah, both even on the other side of the field, the left side.
So that's going to put them at 1st and 15 on the 5.
Tough break, clock running as we are just over 2 minutes to go, and Ohio Northern has just one timeout left, I think. So even if Northern maybe wanted to try to burn them and force a punt and try to score, before half, they do get the ball. The Polar Bears do to start the third. That'd be a big way to really separate themselves from the Muskies as they keep it on the ground. And we'll see if Ohio Northern does call timeout. So 1:46 left. Ohio Northern will call a timeout. We'll take a short break. Come right back here with more football on NKTelco Sports.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
The strategy put forth now are the Polar Bears using, burning a timeout. They're going to try to keep the Muskies down on this side of the field, 2nd and 15, try to force a punt, and maybe have some time to score before half. They lead 24-3. Their defense for the Polar Bears has been very good today. After the one big pass play to start the game, a 55-yard pass and catch from Degner to Wilson. For the most part, the Muskies have been held in check. Overall, the Polar Bears have gained 210 yards on 40 plays. Muskingum under 100 yards, 96 yards on 21 snaps. So they're going to get us near safety. Luckily, Degner able to get it out of the end zone and find number 11, Granger Long, who falls incomplete, but potential sack opportunity and a defensive. One of the defensive linemen's dream is a sack. The other one is to score a touchdown, but Polar Bears nearly had a safety. You'll take another look here as Degner being swarmed over there. A couple Polar Bears right in his face. So it'll bring up 3rd down, and that incomplete pass helps Ohio Northern. Now they are don't have to use a timeout, and I believe Ohio Northern's out of timeout. So get a stop here on 3rd and 15. That'll force a punt and give the Polar Bears some time to go to work on offense as Wilson gets a couple yards, but Dan Eller and Zach Smergy, 22-23, there to meet Wilson. And that'll bring up 4th down after a 2-yard pickup. And the clock running at minute 20. The play clock's down to 25. So Ohio Northern will have just under a minute, maybe closer to 45 seconds to go. And Reed Allen will stand back at the 50-yard line, awaiting the punt from Samuel Green. Green will hope to get a good one here.
He's yet to have one over 40 yards.
And they're using all the clock with the Ohio Northern not able to stop it. And they will call a timeout with the play clock down to 1. 54 seconds left on game clock. We'll take a break, come back, and watch this punt and the rest of the first half here on NKTelco Sports.
There's a lot of early mornings that go into 40 years of service, a lot of miles on these tires, and millions of pounds of cargo have traveled in these trailers. It's about dependable service, the kind of service that shows up 30 minutes early every time, that gets your products, cargo, and business from point A to point B safely, quickly, and efficiently. We are St. Mary's Trucking, traveling the roads of commerce in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky. Men and women who produce the solutions that make your business grow, because the most important thing to them is you.
Muskingum did what they could to reduce as much time as possible for Ohio Northern to have the ball as they call a timeout with 54 seconds to go. Unfortunately, they will be punting out of their end zone, and Ohio Northern has just one guy back, so if they can diagonally kick it, if that skips on the turf, that could eat up some more time if Reed Allen can't come up with it cleanly. So we'll see once here how it plays out.
Northern's yet to go for a punt block.
Snap is there. They nearly come away with it. A couple guys in there. They don't hit the punter. No flags down. And this is where the clock will run a little bit. But, boy, they almost got in there. More importantly, Matt, they didn't touch the kicker. The ball's down. 41 seconds to go inside Muskie territory. So
we have
Will
a player
Freed
down right now, number 36, for Muskingum's down. So
Will Freed will have plenty of chance to get a scoring opportunity here. And with the timeout on the field, we'll take one more timeout and come back with the Polar Bear football on NKTelco Sports.
Here's the thing. If you're the kind of guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes farming, who gets up at dawn, determined to get the best crop and the best yield, why surrender to the mercy of the water table? Cy Schwieterman Incorporated can lower your water table to an average of 2 to 3 feet below the surface, allowing you to grow stronger, healthier plants that root deeper, that are more resilient to the elements, that enable longer growing seasons, and can produce higher results in the fields and in your pocket. Trust CSI, your drainage experts since 1946.
Chaney Fulton, a linebacker, senior linebacker, going off the field, let's say on his own, but boy, not very gracefully, as he's a little frustrated, doesn't like, upset he's hurt and trying to walk it off and hopefully get back into this game.
6'1", 205-pound linebacker from West Jefferson.
So Ohio Northern, with 41 seconds to go, will try to put some more points on the board and, again, get the ball back to start the third quarter. So Freed, with Hasselou in the backfield with him, will look downfield. A lot of time.
Nice pitch and catch.
That'll stop the clock momentarily as Malachi Noletti, number 4, the reception. They'll move the chains, and boy, Ohio Northern quickly up to the line of scrimmage. They're ready to go. Clock moving. He snaps it. He stops the clock.
Nice spike. Still 31 seconds. Plenty of time to get it down there the last 33 yards. We already showed that the kicker for Northern is able to kick one in from distance. First one was from 49 yards out, so.
They don't have to get too much farther to get into that room, but they'd like 7, as Freed is on the afternoon now 14 of 21, 126 yards, plus 141 yards. As Freed again, open receiver. Hadley nearly comes up with a big catch. Nice defensive play by number 23, Dorian Maynard.
Yeah, Maynard almost mugged him there. He's riding his back all the way. But that's the good thing about the refs today. They're letting them play. They're not calling anything ticky-tacky. It's got to be, you got to really be in there on them before they're going to call the interference.
Brendan Hadley, the receiver out of Bradenton, Florida. So I'm sure the temperature a whole lot different down there than it is up here. A little cool today. The nice fall afternoon, though, here for football. The rain not in the way, an overcast day. And as you said, kickoff, I believe, 50 degrees.
That's why a lot of grass in front of him, but he still throws it. Got his receiver.
Logan Ray in for 6.
And that is a touchdown.
33-yard passing catch. Logan Ray, who's been a popular receiver for Freed today, comes up with a big one. Got a lot of it through the air, but worked his tail off to get the final stretch for 6.
25 seconds ago, it was 44 seconds left in the half, and totally different ball game at 24-3. Now it's going to be 30, possibly 31-3. Northern opening it up.
Logan Ray came in today with 14 catches and 1 touchdown. He has 2 touchdowns already today and almost, 7 receptions. We'll take another look at it here. His 7th catch of the game, a big one, and a lot of room. Freed, excellent protection, bought some time, rolled out of the pocket.
Really doing good work with
Muscles,
his feet.
it breaks through a couple tackles there and kind of bowls his way into the end zone for the touchdown. We'll take a short break and come back with the kick here on NKTelco Sports.
As a business owner, do you find yourself reviewing too many applications, or are you the job seeker filling out dozens of applications in an attempt to find employment? West Staff has been bridging the gap between employers and employees since 1988. Jobs range from manufacturing and clerical to specialized fields such as quality control and engineering. West Staff has the ability to operate as your company's entire HR department or simply payroll employees on an attempt-to-hire basis. West Staff, your partner in business.
Welcome back. Boy, it didn't take long, Matt. I think they took over with, 44 some seconds like that. They're down to 19. A short scoring drive. And the Polar Bears dominating this first half and, almost taking it out on the Muskingum Muskies. After those tough games you mentioned the Polar Bears have had against Mount Union, John Carroll, and such, that coming back here, that's going to be the second time. Now, we'll see once here what the penalty is. The first time he kicked out of bounds was on a 31. They added 5 yards. Here, because I think it's inside
I should still get it on the 35.
I think that's the difference there. So that's if you kick it out.
Normally you get it at the 20 and they give you 15 yards on the advance.
35-yard lines where it'll be not much time left, Matt. And I believe just a couple timeouts. It might be that Muskingum they're going to force Ohio Northern to re-kick. So that's another one of their options, I guess, is to move them back 5 yards. That's probably what it was. They took the penalty last time to take the 5 yards where it went out, 31-36. Here, they're going to move him back 5 yards and try the kick again. So
and this is a big advantage to the receiving team. Your guys on the kickoff team's already sprinted just now, 60 yards, so they're a little winded. Your guys are still comfortable.
Or they're warmed up.
Yep, that's one way to look at it.
Anytime you're head 31-3, I don't think a 19-year-old kid's going to get winded. I know your point,
right.
I agree, but when you're up 31-3 in momentum, this is fun time right now for the Orange and Black as they have opened up a big lead, and they will back it up 5 yards and try it again here. We've seen some very odd kicks here in this for the Polar Bears here. The first one went wide right, this one wide left. We'll see if they just try to punch it down the middle and let their coverage team make the play.
Just 19 seconds. It's not like they have a lot to work with.
Don't want to give them, as Flesser kicks off, any big run back to give them a shot at something, and they don't. Pretty good job defensively.
Hit up by Ray, and then by number 32 stood up Kyle Rowe, taking them straight to the ground.
That consumes 6 seconds. 13 seconds left. They're going to play prevent defense and keep everything in front. And the Polar Bears, 31 points here in the first half.
Yeah, they're playing with 5 defensive backs. They're doing most of that. They are traditionally a 4-3-4 defense, but they're playing a 4-2-5, or a prevent. Going to roll out and throw one deep.
And unable to do incomplete. So. That'll stop the clock.
Yeah, nice job by Zach Schmergy, number 22, stepping up, making the quarterback release it before he could set.
Well, leading in halftime this season, the Polar Bears are 2-1. So with 7 seconds left in this first half, the big lead, they're going to try to hold on to that and push that record to 3-1 when leading at halftime. And that's a long way to go, but just something to think about. It's just 7 seconds here. The Polar Bears will keep it in front of them. And still gets a little bit of pressure in, and that'll be another incomplete pass. Still 3 seconds left.
At this point, if I was the Muskies, I'd go ahead and take the knee, go in, talk it over, try to correct some of the mistakes you've made throughout the half.
Well, the defense for Ohio Northern has been very good, not giving the Muskies a whole lot of time. I think pressure's been big. We had a couple sacks earlier on. They had a near safety a little bit ago. So the pressure's been there, and that really, when you're under fire, it may look easy sitting from where I'm at or in the stands or on your couch. When you're down on the field, there's not a lot of room when you know you've got pursuit and guys coming to make a play on you. And that is the 2 15-minute quarters are in the books. The Polar Bears 31, the Muskies 3. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have the second half football on NKTelco Sports.
When you choose Radio Hospital for your wireless needs, you get 13 convenient locations, no waiting and long lines, premier service after the sale, and all the latest technology with locations in Lima, Findlay, Minster, Kenton, Defiance, Napoleon, Wauseon, Bryan, and Archbold. We are right around the corner from you. Visit us today and experience the Radio Hospital difference. We are simply neighbors serving neighbors, providing a refreshing alternative to high-pressure stores. Radio Hospital is your Verizon Wireless premium retailer.
J&R Auto Repair Service is a full-service preventative maintenance and automotive repair center. Family owned and operated, we perform high-quality, guaranteed service you can trust at a fair price. Trust J&R for all your automotive service needs.
At 21st Century Kitchens, we know that every home has a style to go with it. From first-time homebuyers, to families with the pitter-patter of little feet, to teenagers taking over the kitchen, 21st Century has what you want, customizing the style, layout, and price point to fit your budget. Kitchens by Craftmade and quality cabinets, countertops by Wilson Art and Cambria, along with availability of granite, marble, and wood.
See what's in store behind the yellow door for your 21st
Welcome back to Ohio Northern, and for your halftime enjoyment, please enjoy the Ohio Northern Marching Band under the direction of Dr. Charles Bates, the Ohio Northern University Marching Band.
style, and the film Saturday Night Fever was the embodiment of the disco lifestyle. Let's welcome field conductor Susie Young to the podium for the Bee Gees hit, You Should Be Dancing.
Fans, how about it one more time for the Ohio Northern University Marching Band.
Your parents have given you so much throughout the years. They were there when you won first place. Your first heartbreak. Your first car. Your first wreck. Graduation. Planning that special day. Is it time to give back? Give your mom the life she gave you at Elmwood.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
In second place, Delta Sigma Phi. And in first place in our men's division, Phi Mu Delta. All right. Women's division, in third place, Zeta Tau Alpha. In second place, Alpha Z Delta. And in first place in the women's division, Delta Zeta. In our co-ed division, we have third place, Kappa Psi. In second place, Res Life. And in first place, SPC. Our overall winner for the Spirit Week Challenge is Delta Zeta. And now our homecoming court. We would first like to welcome back our 2015 King and Queen, Ian Brown and Vanya Raduca. For our first court members, we have Demaje Jones and Jessica Wise. Demaje is a sophomore music education major and was nominated by Phi Mu Alpha Symphonia. Jessica Wise is a senior music performance major and was nominated by Phi Mu Alpha Symphonia. Next, we have Courtney Hendershot. Courtney is a senior marketing major and was nominated by Kappa Alpha Theta. And Sam Nemeth. He is a senior accounting major and was nominated by the orientation leaders. Next up, Maggie Kimmel. Maggie is a senior political science major and was nominated by Zeta Tau Alpha. And Christian Terrio. Christian is a fourth-year pharmacy student and was nominated by Fiji. Our next court members are Katie Seco. Katie is a pharmacy major and was nominated by Kappa Psi. And Jordan Hughes. Jordan is a third-year pharmacy student and was nominated by Kappa Psi as well. Next, Dan Lucy. Dan is a junior electrical engineering major and was nominated by SPC. Accompanying with him is Lizzie Patterson. Lizzie is a senior accounting and management major and was also nominated by SPC. And our final nominees, Eric Ballinger. Eric is a third-year pharmacy student and was nominated by Residence Life. And Cheyenne Laus. Cheyenne is a third-year pharmacy student and was nominated also by Residence Life. Can we give all of our court a round of applause? And now we will take this time to announce our king and queen. But first, we would like to thank a key member of the Officer Residence Life, and her name is Haley Holkey.
Nope, CCNY.
Our graduate assistant,
CCNY,
who has
Community
coordinated
College.
both Spirit Week as well as the parade today. So, our 2016 Homecoming King is Christian Terrio. Congratulations. And his just playing his queen for 2016 is Miss Katie Seco. Can we give them a standing ovation? Can we do it, folks? Get up on your feet. Your 2016 Homecoming King and Queen. Thank you all very much.
If you want to save 70% on your heating, cooling, and hot water costs, the answer is right under your feet. Let New Knoxville Supply install a water furnace geothermal system and use the natural temperature from the earth for a more constant temperature in your home. Also ask about our new Symphony Home Management System. Control temperatures, track energy usage, and receive safety alerts for everything, including your sump pump. All from anywhere, anytime. Now is the time to calculate your savings at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Welcome back to Dollar Roberson Stadium and Bill Robinson Field here on the campus of the Ohio Northern University. Jeff Henson alongside me today is Matt Everidge, and 30 minutes are in the books, Matt. 30 minutes left to go, and Ohio Northern has dominated first half, and the scoreboard 31-3 also on paper.
Yeah, right now they're up with a sizable lead, 28 points up. Right now for Northern, leading in Russians, David Hasselou, 15 rushes, 81 yards, averaging 5.4 a carry. Will Freed, he's 15 of 23 for 174 yards, 3 touchdowns. His long one, the 33-yard one there, late in the second quarter, caught by receiving leader Logan Ray, 7 receptions, 77 yards, 33 yards being his longest with 2 touchdowns as well. On the flip side, Warren Wilson's leading rusher right now. He has 9 attempts for 21 yards, only a 2.3-yard average. And Denninger coming in 3 of 11 for 96 yards. His long being that 55-yarder.
First play of the game.
First play of the game, and that was just about it. But the biggest key we're looking at, for a total of 27 plays for 105 yards, 44 plays for Northern for 258. But that time of possession, they're at 17:43. So they're controlling the ball.
5 minutes difference there. And what you think about if that incomplete pass, that very first play of the game, if that is dropped or overthrown, take that away. Of their 105 yards, 55 of them came on that first play. So Polar Bears defense has done super. They put pressure on the quarterback. Their line, you mentioned, has done a nice job not letting Wilson get free. So a good defensive effort. And then offense didn't really start out like a house fire. Took them about their 3rd or 4th possession. They got some good field position. They went to work, and I didn't keep track, but I bet they've scored on probably their last 4 or 5 possessions.
Yeah,
if not all of them, at least like all but maybe one, they have scored. So they've found the rhythm. They will receive. Remember, they scored just before half the 33-yard touchdown pass to Logan Ray, who's had a big half. He's got 7 catches. I think I said coming in he had 13 on the season. So they've he's found his niche today against the defense, and he's taken advantage of it.
Yeah, they've had 5 scoring opportunities, and the first 2 they punted, and the last 5 they have scored. Ball's going to be picked up and caught on the return. Nice hole opened up in the middle.
Excellent
He's got a
return.
chance to squirt through and just takes it out to the 37.
Excellent return for the Polar Bears by number 19, Jamison Scarborough. So Scarborough puts the ball out to the 37, and the offense for Coach Dean Paul will go back to work. And like Matt said, they've been very efficient in their last handful of possessions.
Northern coming back out.
Again, Coach Dean Paul in his 13th season at Ohio Northern, 86-44 his record, 17 seasons overall coaching. And Coach Dean Paul is 10-2, 10 wins, 2 losses against Muskingum.
Haslou still the running back. Ball going to be handed. No,
Yeah,
it's
keep
fake.
it. Kind of a long screen pitch option, not for sure. First down's all that matters. Reed Allen, kind of a, as you mentioned, excellent ball placement. I kind of thought the same thing. Haslou had it. Freed kept it and threw a lateral or
Just a nice little lateral pass over to the flat. And that got opened up by, again, number 88. We've said his name a million times, Logan Ray, with a nice block downfield, letting number 6, Reed Allen, get on down to get the first down for 12 yards.
Reed Allen went to Anthony Wayne High School. Hometown is White House.
Haslou pulled in right in the backfield.
It's odd that I would say Reed Allen, his hometown is White House. You know what, 21 days we're going to be selecting a new president to live in the White House. But that carry there by number 33, David Haslou. Montour High School out of Pittsburgh, PA.
We don't
out
want
of
to talk
state.
about the White House right now. There's more hits in that than there is in this football game.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of mudslinging being tossed around, and hopefully things will work out.
Ball given to Haslou again, right up the middle, down the O gap, pick up a 3.
Didn't gain any on his first attempt. Or, yeah, now we have 3rd and 7, so Polar Bears
up hopping. That could be a problem for Northern. We have not seen Christian Williams all day.
Kyle Tucker, number 16 out of Madison, Indiana, comes in. Haslou hobbles off, and so as I mentioned, number 16, Kyle Tucker. No rushing yards that I see in our stats, so he will have to be ready right now. His opportunity. He slides to the right hip of Freed. There's some
7 looks like it might be a false start on Northern.
I'll back him up 5, so it'll be 3rd down and 2 lines to gain. This will push him back to 12. It doesn't. So unfortunate way to start this half here, and they're going to have to come up with a big play to keep this drive going. Remember, if they capitalized on this drive, they would have scored in back-to-back possessions without Muskingum getting a chance to touch the ball. So 3rd and long.
3rd and 12.
Number
the 48.
10, Freed finds Hadley. Oh, it was deflected. I thought he.
Nice touch by number 5. That's deflected by Caleb Gators.
He made a nice defensive play. I was watching Hadley cut, and I thought he had the angle, and it got deflected. So a good stand by the Muskies defense, something they needed to do and had not been very successful recently, but come up with a big stop following a pretty good run back where the Polar Bears had decent field position, but the drive stalled. And
Bergman, he's in for his first kick since probably 8 minutes left in the first quarter, so.
Been well rested.
Bergman kicking down. The wind has been effective going this way on the kicks.
Kyle Bergman, a senior punter out of Coldwater High School, Coldwater, Ohio.
Nice placement. Ball goes out at the 18. That's where Muskingum will take over.
Coldwater has been very successful in high school, so Kyle Bergman a part of, I'm sure, at least one of those state championships, probably, as they've run off a few of state titles.
And Bergman a senior this year.
Now the Muskingum offense will come back out, and they will face, that's been a very good defensive unit for the Polar Bears. Just 105 total yards, as you mentioned, Matt, and over half of them on one play.
Yeah, they're definitely holding the line, controlling everything. I'll look for Muskingum to get in the air. That's a ball dropped by the quarterback, and he's in trouble. He's going to go down for a 3-yard sack.
Boy, Scott Rapps.
99, Rapps got him.
I think Rapps knocked it out of his hand. Unfortunately for Muskingum, it bounces right back up to him. We'll take another look at it.
Yeah, you get a nice drop back, but just the pocket collapses all around him. He tries to step up, and Rapps is just waiting on him. Comes right from behind.
Hard tackle, legal hard tackle, but you know, you got Rapps at 6 feet 6 inches, 285 pounds, and he's basically rapping, and you're going. There's nothing between you and the ground, except basically almost 300 pounds coming down. So good play by Raps.
Some more laundry hitting the field. It's been a pretty much penalty-free game. There's only been 5 penalties up to here now, each team with a false start. So they'll take them back 5 more, make it 2nd and 17. This is not what Muskingum had in mind coming in.
No, that's
total penalties. Muskingum had 3 for 30, and Northern had 2 for 10 yards.
And third down conversions, Muskingum 0 for 8. That's another, I think, important stat. If you're ever looking at numbers, Muskingum 0 for 8 on third downs in the first half. Ohio Northern was 4 of 9. Those are critical downs. And you mentioned it earlier, it's been 3rd and long, and that's going to be 3rd and longer as there was a false start by the Muskingum Muskies.
So take them back 5 more. They are outside the 10, so no half the distance here. They'll take them down to the 6. And now it's time that you'd expect Northern just go ahead and blitz, let Schmergy go.
I say those defensive linemen, they nearly got a safety in the end of the first half. They're going to be able to somewhat pin your ears back and go at it. They're hungry for it. And
we've got real good fan support here at Northern. Looks like just about 3/4 the stadium is filled, or it was before halftime. They got a soccer game tonight that they're hosting, so a lot of the people are going over there. And there is
Raps.
number 99 Raps again. Takes him back for another 1-yard loss. So tackles for losses are starting to add up here for Northern. I don't think we have that stat for the number of tackles for loss, but it's definitely adding up. So 3rd down and forever. Let's call it 3rd and 23 from the 5.
Coming into this game, Raps had 21 tackles for loss and 9 sacks. He's honorable mention all OAC last season. He's played in 24 games and started 17 on defensive line in his 3 years. And
Schmergy got in again there. Just a quick throw away. And out comes the punt unit. So Northern
pads their stats again. They maybe have dropped over. Well, still not giving up the penalty yards, moved them back to that.
Well, I take them down to 104 yards total because they did lose a yard on the one play.
Good job defensively as, again, Reed Allen, the lone returner for the Polar Bears, standing at the Muskie 43. And the Muskies will punt from their end zone, and nearly, at least it looked like from this angle.
Number 13 almost got the block. It's going to be picked up by number 6.
Reed Allen will come this way.
He's got a lane.
Looking for some room.
Cuts inside.
Probably ran, not gain a whole bunch, but for a while there it looked like there were some big openings. Probably ran 20 yards and gained 4. So more importantly, caught it cleanly, protected that field position. A lot of times you let it bounce, it could skip, but earlier in the game, two punts towards Reed Allen. One he was blocked into, if you will, which resulted in the unsportsmanlike conduct, and the other one was a short hop that nearly bounced up and got him. So that one much easier to field for Reed Allen.
And Northern starting again in Muskingum territory.
That's at least the 4th time I can think of.
It's the 4th time today that they have been in their territory.
You don't see that a lot.
They're definitely controlling time of possession and possession on the field. Will be dropped back for a pass.
Free receiver finds one downfield. Number 6, Reed Allen.
First down on the 31.
Gain of about 11, and Hasselu remains on the sideline. He got hurt last possession. Number 16, Kyle Tucker, the running back in the backfield with Freed.
Tucker still waiting to get his first attempt on the ball. Tucker's from Madison, Indiana. 6-foot sophomore, 195 pounds.
So Freed waits for the snap. Ray goes in motion. And he does get his first attempt, and he's going to be untouched for about 10 yards. He's going to finish with about an 11-yard gain. So I'm guessing Kyle Tucker, his first rushing attempt as a Polar Bear.
Quite possibly. That is a first down, 11-yard run.
So Tucker taking advantage of his first touch out of the Polar Bear backfield and moving the chains, and just outside the red zone, the Polar Bears find themselves as we near the 9.5 minute of this third quarter.
Be another handoff.
Tucker will muscle his way forward for about another 2 or 3 yard gain as the ball nears the 16-yard line.
You get outside the tackle box against Muskingum, and they're doing well against the run. It's just the inside where they're giving up their yards on the rush.
Will Rank in the center, Arian Honius and Nate Jones the guards. Carter Kemper and Kyle Gunterman the right tackle and left tackle and right tackle for the offensive line. Freed out to Hadley.
Another quick pass into the flat, and that's going to be
grabbed
another
by the back and tackled, but not until a first down. So
down to the 9, so it'll be a first and goal on the, we'll call it the 8.
Hadley, 1 reception in the first half, 1 here. Came into the game. Hadley did with 6 catches, has 2 now. As he stays on the left side, and number 6.
Look for Ray to release
Reed Allen
here.
and number 4 Malachi Noletti, the receivers to the right. They look for him.
And there's Ray.
Logan
on the
Ray,
outside.
touchdown. 9-yard touchdown catch, the 3rd of the game
for Ray.
So nice drive by the Polar Bears. More points on the board as Ray now 3 catches today. For Freed, his 4th touchdown pass of the season. Freed came in with 9 touchdowns, now has 13 on the season.
French looking to go 5 for 5 here on extra points. Ball's down,
7
up, and it's good.
French 5 for 5 today, came in for 17 of 19 on the season. So he remains perfect today. We'll take a short break and come back with more football here on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Welcome back. The Polar Bears continue to score points today, 38-3. Freed his 4th touchdown pass. Logan Ray his 3rd touchdown reception, and the offense is paying off here, and compliments to the defense for giving them great starting field position on a number of these scoring drives.
Yeah, they're just firing on all cylinders. The defense doing their part, the offense not letting them down, putting the points up that they need to put up, and it's all looking good if you're an Ohio Northern fan. That now puts Freed at 19-28 for 213 yards and 4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
That's probably the key point right there, Matt. The 0 interceptions. Came into the game with 7. Right now, taking care of the ball. And we really haven't seen but maybe 1 throw that was kind of, earlier in the game where a receiver kind of had to become a defender. Other than that, he's been very good with the football, making some great decisions. He came in ranking 9th all-time in Ohio Northern University football history with just under 3,000 passing yards, and he's just a sophomore, so I'm assuming he's going to be climbing up the charts there. He's thrown for over 200 yards, 7+ games, make that probably 8 for today, counting today with 213 yards. So Will Freed has done very nicely here today, and again, just a sophomore. We mentioned some of their key players are sophomores and underclassmen.
If you look at Ohio Northern's schedule over the last 2 weeks, they played Mount Union, only lost by 14. They played John Carroll last weekend. They lost 20-16 to them. Like we said, they are a nationally ranked team, number 23 nationally. So Northern is a good team. They have a really nice young team around here, a lot to build with. We've got high expectations for them next year. Here comes Schmergy on the end.
Able to just get it away, but boy, they break a tackle. And still not much gain on that pass completion. You mentioned right now the Polar Bears play Muskingum today. Next week they go to Marietta. Their final home game of the season will be Wilmington on the 5th of November, and then they finish the season at Baldwin-Wallace. So
every game should be winnable. Everybody that they have left has a losing record or is below them in the standings right now.
And Wilmington, next weekend's opponent, Marietta. They came into this week 2-3 in conference play, 2-4 overall. Then Wilmington at home, they have yet to win a game. and then finish the season at Baldwin Wallace, which they're 1-4. OAC played 2-4 overall. And you know, Ohio Northern came in this season a number of road games. They finished the season last year with their regular season tournaments, I think with 2 or 3 road games. Then opened up this year with 3 on the road. So they played. It was a long stretch before they got back here home. And this year, with the schedule the way it is, just 4 home games: Mount Union, John Carroll, Muskingum today, and then Wilmington to finish it. So kind of a tough schedule and not many home games to go forward to go with it. So
well, it's nice when you got like a John Carroll or a Mount Union at home, so you got the crowd behind you, but it does make it hard to get home wins.
And they were both, and they lost both of them, even with the, like you said, being home. And usually Ohio Northern's pretty good here at Dial Roberson Field. They were 44-19 all time. Now that includes the 0-2 mark this year. They won 12 straight here at home from back in 2009 through 2011. So they've done very well here this season. A couple big opponents, so game losses, but overall 44-19 at home. That's a pretty good mark.
Yeah, you definitely can't complain if you are a Northern fan. They got a good football program. Like I said, they are young. They're kind of like the lacrosse team this past year. It was all freshmen. So, I mean, they like to have a lot of young players around here on the list. They're starting to move the ball, though, is Muskingum. So it's going to be 3rd and short, 3rd and 3.
Nice tackle by Ohio Northern's number 13 as nearly the receiver got free, but
Christian Randolph.
Bring up 3rd and short.
And we're at the point now where Muskingum, even if they get within a yard here, they're going to have to start going for it on 4th down.
So to bring up 3rd down here right inside of Ohio Northern territory. Rare time where the quarterback had some time, and it's fumbled.
Fumbled. Ball's going to be picked up
loose, and it will be recovered now. Do they get the
4th down? They get 4th down.
They had possession down here. The ball was fumbled on about the 35, and Ohio Northern had some chances, a little greedy. I think they wanted to do the scoop and score. Couldn't come up with it cleanly, and it ends up back past the yard to gain. So 4th and 4, 4th and 5.
Yeah, Croswell got pulled off for that because he didn't pick the ball up.
So take another look at it right here. Is one of the rare times where
plenty of time in the pocket to throw.
And just slipped right out of his hands. And
going to bring it back.
So 4th down.
Smurgy
Pressure, underthrown. Credit double deuces. Zach Smurgy in on the pressure, forced the throw to be a little short. Then the Polar Bear defense puts an end to that drive just across midfield. He got a break on the fumble. That would have been a 1st down. But given another chance, the defense comes up, makes the big stop, and it will be their ball for the offense again. Mentioned not only the winning mark here at home for Ohio Northern, 44-19, against unranked teams, Division III schools. Since 1999, Ohio Northern has an 82% winning percentage against unranked Division III teams, which would be Muskingum, for example, today. So they've taken care of, let's say, the games they should win. It's John Carroll's, Mount Unions as ranked teams that have, they've been competitive with. Just need to find a way to get those big wins against the higher ranked teams. But very successful against the unranked teams, 82% winning percentage since 1999.
Yeah, they do have a nice recruiting base, too, out of Ohio and Michigan, and then they do go down to Florida for quite a few players.
And we got some from Pittsburgh and Indiana as well, we've seen.
Right,
so
they've done well on the recruiting. I don't know what you say to a Florida boy to get him up here in the cold Ohio wind, but they seem to do well with it.
A chance to play and a good education. That's what you say.
If we were supposed to go on field position, I would dare to say Ohio Northern has pretty much started on the 50.
The average?
The average all day long. That's another pass completion for another 14 yards.
Reed Allen on the reception, you're right. I don't know what the average field position would be, but we mentioned a number of times they've started inside Muskingum territory, and when it hasn't, I don't remember anything drives back inside the 10 or such, so they've controlled clock. Field position's been their favor. Defense has been great. Offensively, they've done pretty good as well. As
number 33
back in. Really you know, I'm not the football coach or we're not the assistant coaches, but you go down a checklist of things you're scoring your players on. They've done a lot of things right today, and I'd be hard-pressed to find something to that you'd be critical of right now. But good performance so far today for the Polar Bears in the orange shirt with the black numbers.
Yeah, that's actually not Hasselou out there. It's number 35.
Oh, 35, okay.
But he is not listed.
Jordan
as
Smith.
that.
Jordan Smith, 35. Oh, that one nearly intercepted. Well, I didn't think Hadley thought the ball was even coming his way. It looked like he was blocking. Ball nearly intercepted. As Freed, I believe, thought he was going to be the receiver. Hadley thought maybe he was going to run play, started to block, but got 35 down as Jordan Smith, freshman
I don't
running
have
back
him on my list.
out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, Christian High School. So he remains in the backfield with Will Freed, and it will be 3rd and 8. Nearly an offsides. They were able to get back. Freed goes right back to Hadley. Nice defensive play, knocking it down.
A penalty. That's going to be a rough in the passer on number 79.
23, Dorian Maynard on the defensive play, and Matt picked up the penalty flag against Muskingum, it looks like, on
Mason, number 79.
Tough
So
break.
Nathan Mason, the defensive lineman, just a freshman, 6'4", 245 pounds from Delpre.
Mason will go out. He didn't seem happy. I didn't see it, Matt. I don't know if he felt he was blocked or what he felt it wasn't his fault, but he will have a play to think about it. Unfortunately for him, that will give the Polar Bears a first down.
He went high on the quarterback, and they're not going to let you get away with that.
So first down for the Polar Bears. They are marching again.
All the way down to the 19.
And again, they've been pretty efficient today. Probably just a couple punts I can think of off the top of my head. So they haven't had to punt many times. They throw it out to the flat, and catching it is number 6, Reed Allen, for a short gain. And I know one time Ohio Northern went for it on 4th down, did not come up with it. So they're 2 of 3 on 4th downs and punted just a couple times today. Take another look at this short gain here. We actually lost a yard.
They're still getting pressure inside, but not enough to stop Northern from continuing going down the field. So 2nd and 11.
Freed, his pass.
That was dangerous
knocked
territory.
down, yeah. And good angle on the ball was number 15 for Muskingum, Jacob Yost. He didn't come up with it, but you're right. That was like trying to throw around a corner, and Yost was the corner and just could not come up with a catch. Unfortunately for Ohio Northern, just an incomplete pass.
If Yost would have caught that, that would have been gone for 80. Score still 38-3.
3rd and 11.
2:28 left in the 3rd.
Freed has had a good afternoon today. No interceptions, 4 touchdown throws.
It's
There's
going to be
a
a false
start. So jumping the gun just a bit is the freshman Jordan Smith. That'll back the Polar Bears up 5 yards, and they will have 3rd and 16.
And I look for, after this drive, start of the 4th, you might see a lot of the second teamers coming in. Northern just giving up the 3 points on the field goal. Would have been pitching the shutout here today.
And that was a 49-yarder. So good kick by Cody Dent. Ohio Northern did block the opening drive after Muskingum got the 55-yard pass completion. The first play of the game, the drive stalled. Ohio Northern blocked the attempt. And then, yeah, the only points they've surrendered is a long 49-yard field goal. Freed with time will have to roll out, buy him some time. Out of bounds,
and
I
that's
think.
going to be caught. That was a nice catch on the 15. That's going to make it 4th and manageable.
Well, Hadley caught it. I thought he ran out of bounds before he caught it. One of those times where when you run out, you can't come back in to be the first one to touch it. But it is a completion, and that'll
bring in the kicking team.
Field goal unit will come on to the field, and
Joe
French will try again. He's had a good afternoon as well.
It's 5 for 5 on extra points. I'm sorry. Yeah,
extra points.
Yeah, and 1 for 1 for field goal. Kick is up and good, and that's a 39-yarder.
That is just crosses through. The wind really held that up. It does cross across the board. He crossbar 2 for 2 today. That makes him 10 for 13 on the season. And with 1:54 to go in the 3rd quarter, we'll take a break here. You're watching OAC college football on NKTelco Sports.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Welcome back. The Polar Bears have grown the lead by 3. Now their offense getting it down the field and settle for a field goal, but nonetheless points for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, Polar Bears are now at 41-3, well in control here today. Like we said, they have a favorable schedule coming in, so they're looking to try to finish this season at 6-4. And this is step number 1 in making that happen. 2-4 right now, 2-3 in the OAC, so looking to get some wins.
Today, again, homecoming here at Ohio Northern. Ohio Northern has won 12 of its last 19 homecoming games. So make that now 13 of 20 in the past 20 homecoming games. Overall, if you go back a whole bunch, in 92 previous homecoming games, Polar Bears came in with a 47 and 41-4 mark.
Flesser with his first kickoff.
So homecoming today, a good crowd, as Matt mentioned, here at Bill Robinson Field. And they're seeing their Polar Bears do a nice job on all aspects of the game, and penalty flag on the field is probably going to push Muskingum again back into difficult territory. Now, you mentioned maybe Ohio Northern, their average field starting position probably being at least 50. What would you guess Muskingum's would be?
I'd say about
10,
the 15
or
10, 15-yard line. They just got a block in the back.
It's truly been difficult today for Muskingum from New Concord, Ohio. They just can't get much going. And I know they had one big play where they got some positive yards and penalty nullified that. So they've been hurting themselves and basically can't stop Ohio Northern right now. And it's been a long day.
Definitely more shooting in the foot. And it's going to be trying to sweep as a whole. It's going to be a pickup of 5. So take it down to 2nd and 5 now from about the 17.
Mentioned Zach Smurgy's name a lot tonight. And Dan Ellery mentioned his name, the safety. Those two guys came in today leading the OAC in tackles with 58 and 55 tackles respectively. And we've called their name a lot, so they've been big-time defenders in the OAC this year.
Back to pass, plenty of time. Pocket just collapsed.
And there's a sack.
You'll have to give that to your coverage. I mean, that was nice coverage downfield, nowhere to release the ball. So, like we said, in all aspects of the game on the defensive side, Northern has just owned. I don't think they have a positive offensive yard. If you take all the negatives away, they wouldn't have one in the second half.
It's been tough, he's right. So, mentioned a homecoming stat. Coach Dean Paul, a win today under his regime would even his record on homecoming games at 7-7. So that's another kind of little keys of the game. What a win today would do for Ohio Northern. It would even Dean Paul's record at 7-7 on homecoming games. That pass deflected.
Nice attempt, almost caught and picked up there by number 16.
13.
Or 13, be Derek Grandstaff. Just defended well. And out comes the punting unit again. And Northern's going to get the ball right around the 50.
Christian Randolph, the defender for the Polar Bears that time, as you're right, he made a nice play, knocking it away from number 12, Damon Jones. And good job by the defense again. Let's force another punt. This will be, again, number 6 back for Ohio Northern. Reed Allen, he's had a busy day today, and it's usually another good sign that your team's doing well. If
that's a boom.
That's a good kick. Yeah, push Allen back and gets a short gain and keeps the field possession, though. I mean, it's going to be right near the 50 again. Great starting field position for Ohio Northern with just 17 ticks left to go in this third 15-minute quarter. It's all Polar Bears today so far, and what's turning out to be now, Matt, a nice sunny day. The breeze still there, but sun trying to peek out a little bit and put some little bit of light on this. Already dominating performance by the Polar Bears.
Yeah, fall's definitely in the air. Looking around, you can see all the yellows and reds coming out in the trees. That lets you know it's time for Ohio football. Flags just blowing out there, though, coming across. I'd look for Northern to keep the ball on the ground as much as they can, get this clock ran out.
Northern in control today is, face mask. Wow. This will be a free play, and
he's still
Freed's
going.
still running. He'll gain 11. He had his neck snapped back as defender reached out and unfortunately grabbed the face mask. And
looks like they was trying to tell him it was a hold, but it's not a hold.
You'll see once here is 2 penalty markers on the field, and it's possible how Northern held the guy, and it's also possible the defender grabbed the face mask. So
this may come back and they just redo the down if it's offset penalties.
I almost thought when Freed got face mask, his knee hit the ground when he went down, so the ball would have been dead way back here. But we'll let those guys work it out as Ohio Northern looking for their 5th straight win against Muskingum. 42-7 win last year, a 31-10 win the year before here, a big win there, 49-7, and a 20-19 victory here, holding on Ohio Northern. Saw that.
They're all set.
I always wonder, it doesn't seem right that you can offset a hold versus a face mask. I mean, just in general, that's a personal foul, and a hold is just a common, a mistake. And to me, they don't seem equal, but nonetheless, it's an offsetting penalty. So we'll redo first down.
And the only way they wouldn't offset is if there was a 3rd penalty and it was after the whistle for an unsportsmanlike. Then you would get the 15. But other than that, just change them up.
4 wins in a row against Muskingum. Today, Northern can hold on to be 5 as they
But
look
he's
for a
open.
bunch.
He's open. Oh, and just overthrew him.
Good stop and go route up there by number 4. That's Malachi Noletti. And that is the final horn of the 3rd quarter. So 3 15-minute periods are in the book. We'll take a break, come back with the final 15 minutes here on NKTelco Sports.
You owe it to yourself twice a year a checkup at Minster Dental Care. Our specialized doctors, Jim Overman, Jim Myring, Sean Sharp, and Philip Slunkowski, are ready to give you the smile you've always dreamed of at any stage of your life. Pediatric, orthodontic, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry are just a few of the services offered. Our latest advancements include CEREC dentistry that allows us to create and deliver a crown in one convenient visit. We're located on State Route 66 in Minster, 419-628-3380 to schedule your appointment today. You owe it to yourself.
Jump, jump. What? Oh, come on. Set.
Plastic surgery is very expensive today.
Jet! Jet?
Come on, shoot him.
Need more bandwidth? Switch to NKTelco and run all your devices.
Live action to start the 4th quarter. A short gain by number 16, Kyle Tucker. And that's how the 4th quarter starts. Polar Bears in command, 41-3, and they've done it, Matt, really, like I said, all phases: defense, offense, special teams.
Yeah, they have controlled and owned this game from the beginning. NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of college football. You can watch them on Channel 3 or 503 in HD on October 22nd at 11 and October 23rd at noon.
Freed looking downfield.
That should be a pass
double
interference.
coverage as Logan Ray, the intended receiver, broken up by the Muskies. Through 3 quarters, Ohio Northern's run 21 more offensive plays. They've run 61 compared to 40. They've outgained Muskingum 342 yards to 131.
So that means they held them to 26 yards in that 3rd period.
Now they will punt, and this will be the 3rd punt of the day by the Polar Bears. And
they've had 2 for an average of 39.5.
Kyle Bergman, chance here. He probably has a wind at his back, so we'll see once if he can maybe pad that average a little bit. He's got some room to let it loose here. Gets it away, spiraling kick right down the field. It is fair caught on about
the 20-yard line.
20-yard line, and that is where Muskingum will start their offensive drive. And as I just said, with not a lot of offense rhythm for the Muskingum Muskies today. Their head coach, Al Logan, wanted to mention his name. He's their head coach. His assistant coaches include Jim Kaiser, Ethan Wetzel, Keegan Varner, Theodore Brown, Cody Cruzen, TJ Lewinsky, and Trevor Wilnow. The coaching staff for the Muskingum Muskies, who came in 3-3 overall, 2-3 in the OAC. And there's another stuff. Sorry,
Pitched
there's
out.
a keep. Nice play. I was fooled, Matt. I thought it was up the middle.
There's a nice option ran there by the quarterback, number 10, Degner.
We'll get another look here because I missed it the first time, so I'll enjoy this as much as you guys. I thought it was handed off up the middle. Degner kept it around the right side and pitched it out, actually. It was an option then to
actually, that was Grandstaff. Grandstaff was running.
Took the snap. Yeah, he pitched it out to number 4, Darius Hayes Caruth. So Grandstaff, the new quarterback, and that's Caruth, I believe. No, not Caruth that time, but Grandstaff in the backfield now as quarterback from Zanesville, Ohio.
Warren Wilson, the running back, sophomore, 5'11", from Cleveland, Salone. You always hear their name come playoff time for high school football.
Speaking of Cleveland, the Indians are in the World Series. So, again, Northeast Ohio popular on the sports map with the Cavaliers winning it in June this year. And Indians chance to win the World Series in what would be probably November by the time things over. I don't know if the Browns will be able to turn it around here and party in February also. I doubt it, but it all starts tomorrow when they host the Bengals and haven't been mathematically eliminated yet, so I figure they still control their own destiny.
I think Cleveland's controlled that for years.
You know, the Cavs got it in the summer, and the Indians can do it in the fall, and the Browns could do it in February, so it'd be a trifecta, a 3-win championship, if you will, for that city, but probably not. But right now, Northern playing like a professional team, so to speak, as they have controlled the game today.
And Jordan Turk just got away with one. He wasn't even set at the running back position. He was over talking to the line judge, and the ball was snapped. So Muskingum gets away with one there, brings up 3rd and 5 from 37. We'll call it 38.
Justin Croswell, number 87, into the game. Some, as you mentioned, some second-team players getting a chance to play now.
Third down conversions are 1 of 12 today. And they're not going to convert this time either. Coming right on into number 99, Raps. Just wrapped him up, and that was it.
So good job defensively again. As
be a loss of a yard.
Punt team will come out. And trotting back will be Reed Allen again. He's had a busy afternoon. This will probably be the 7th punt of the day. And for a kicker that came in as a unit, I think their average was, what, 40?
41.
It's been 36 today, so not all bad. A few yards under their average, but.
Well, that 15-yard penalty didn't help.
Kick is away. Fair catch called for by Reed Allen, and they will start here just inside their own 35 and the 32-yard line. And I think we're having a new quarterback, number 18, Nolan Sotka, S-O-T-K-A, Nolan Sotka, a freshman quarterback out of Aurora, Ohio.
So Wilfried will end his day 23 of 35, 238 yards, 4 touchdowns, with 33 yards being the longest pass.
More importantly,
So
no
good day.
interceptions. Soka has just played in one game, 2 of 2 passing for 24 yards, so a very limited chance, but he's going to get some minutes today. Sotka, I believe, is the official name, is what I'm hearing over the PA. So Sotka in for the Polar Bears as pass short hops. Intended receiver number 81, Caleb Southfeld. Southfeld, a wide receiver out of Modessa, California. So add that one. We've got Florida, Pennsylvania, Indiana, I think Michigan, and now California. So there's 5 states plus your homegrown Ohio kids.
Joe French, we called his name a couple times. He's from Elgin, Illinois. So
he is the kicker. Sotka will keep it for a short gain up the middle.
Ball down 39, 3rd and 8.
Sotka will
No gain on the play or gain
get
of
some minutes
2,
here, as I
rather.
mentioned, as remaining at center is Will Rankin, number 55, and it looks like
And Kenny Fulton.
Jones is still in there, and also Honius, the guard, so they remain in. And as they will get set here, play clock just now at 10 seconds, game clock at 11:13 and counting. Pressure
and nice tackle for a loss. Ball comes out, but he was down by contact. You can definitely tell the second team has taken the field. For ONU, their entire line's in there now for the second team. So it'd be centers P.J. Ernst.
This will bring up 4th down, as one of the few times we've seen Muskingum get through that offensive line, and it results in a sack. So a rough first series there for Sotka, and Polar Bears will punt it again.
4th and 19.
Nice spiraling kick. There's a good one. That'll back him up to the 31.
Nice step around by number 7 there, running it back, getting past 1.
Not a 7-yard gain. Was a nice kick. Good leg there by number 97, Kyle Bergman. Nice spiraling kick using the wind and really kept the field position, if you will, in Ohio Northern's favor a little bit when for the Muskies will start back in their own territory.
Yeah, the Muskies just need to look at it as if this is the first series. Just try to get something positive going so you can take it towards you next week.
Yeah, they've got some tough games coming up, as we mentioned. They've got trying to put together back-to-back wins for the first time this year. It's going to come up short of that, but boy, next week they play at, I believe, John Carroll and then Mount Union. We'll find out here in a second.
Damon Jones with a nice catch for a pickup of 14, takes it down to the 48-yard line of Northern.
Muskingum got a win last week against Baldwin Wallace, 14-13. I believe Matt said they started out 13-0, came back, got that win at BW. They're going to lose today at Northern. They were at home for John Carroll, currently number 23, and at home for Mount Union, currently number 1 in the nation, and then finish up their season against Wilmington, who has yet to win a game on the season. But they got a couple big ones, a couple very difficult games at home to the Muskies. And
nice run. He's up for 15 yards down to the 31. That was a nice carry there by Grandstaff. Just tucked it and ran. He's taken what the defense has given him, and that was a wide open lane for 15 yards.
At the Polar Bear 32.
So the Polar Bear defense giving up a little bit here late in the game. We are under 9.5 minutes to go. See once if the Muskies can keep this rhythm going and try to get some points on the board. A field goal is all they have to show for it today. A 49-yarder by Cody Dent. That one intended
for Warren Wilson. His back was just turned towards the ball. Grandstaff threw it his way. He didn't even look back. So it looks like that was a miscue on where he thought the ball would be. Coming in now is going to be number 2.
Kyler Caldwell. He's a first-team cornerback. At least here we go with 2nd and 10.
Ball in 32.
Grandstaff hit as he throws. Free ball intercepted on the 1-yard line.
They're going to return this. There
Running
is an open
room.
lane. Still an open lane.
And he will be tackled at the 49-yard line, number 23 for the Polar Bears, Dan Eller, senior defensive back out of Medina High School. That ball, someone ran the wrong route. It was just an easy pick for Dan Eller, but nonetheless a pick and good return yards for Eller. Couldn't quite get it all the way to the house, had a couple tackles to beat, couldn't quite get it done, gets tripped up at midfield.
We got a replay on it here. This is total advantage defense when the ball's intercepted that far back.
Grandstaff was hit as he threw it, and the receiver gave up or they were trying to throw it away.
Just picked it off there right out of camera view. Here he comes up the middle, just a huge hole. Back to live action.
No gain.
Be a loss of 5.
Tucker, no room to run.
Called a loss of 3, 2nd and 13. 8:43 left on the First National Bank scoreboard.
So the Polar Bears, right now, just basically the final score is what is in doubt. The offense now has been sputtering just a bit. We'll try to get rolling again here as pass down the field, caught by number 9.
That was a nice check down by number 18, Sotka. He had his first option was out on the flat. He went a little deeper. You've seen him do a little check pass. The defense moved in, and he was opened up his receiver. That was a nice setup there by the quarterback.
Riley Brandstetter out of Parkway High School.
I believe they're going to call an eligible man downfield, but there was a nice catch and pitch and catch there.
Won't count ineligible man downfield, but like you said, still a nice completion. Will not be nullified by the penalty. Now 2nd and 2 lines to gain. 2nd and 18.
Waiting on the play to come in.
P.J. Ernst, the new center, number 53, in for the Polar Bears.
Along with number 17, Jamison Curry, left tackle.
Under pressure again. This time
Nice
to get it
draw.
off. Inside screen, Kyle Tucker will get some of the yards back.
Melvin Scott, the defensive back there, had a real nice job of just breaking through. I don't know if we're going to call a penalty.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, a little talking, I would suppose, to the quarterback by the Muskies, and that's going to be first down for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, give them 15, and it's an automatic first down.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 36. 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, he's called on number 36. Cheney Fulton, a linebacker, senior 6'1", 205 from West Jefferson.
36, he was the one that got hurt earlier in the game. We saw him limp off, and
he's back off the field again. The coach done called him out.
35 that went off there, I thought, so I'm not real sure.
36 is still in. He's dead center.
Okay,
middle linebacker.
35 went off, but 36 is who got hurt earlier in the game, so obviously he made it back and made a negative play, unfortunately, but playing nonetheless.
Oh, and that should be a horse collar.
Close. I don't know if he got him by the collar or the back of the shirt, but no penalty. Lost his shoe, so he's going to come off the field. Will Tucker, and coming in will be number 35, Jordan Smith.
And Joe Rinsella, number 61, the offensive lineman, he has his shoes are just about the same color as a flag. And I thought that they'd thrown a flag there for the horse collar, but.
Rinsella, 61 in the ball game. Trying to pick up, it's hard to see some of the linemen's number. They never face us. And it's hard to see from our angle sometimes. Jordan Smith.
Pass.
Muscles his way for. Little guy, 5'6", 165 pounds. I say muscle, he's not extremely big running back, but boy, he did use his strength to muscle forward and gain what he could.
Yeah, pick up a 7, makes it 3rd and manageable or 3rd and 5. In 4-down territory, so.
Garrett Newman, number 65, a 6'3" senior, offensive lineman in the game as well.
Northern doing real good on their play action.
Pressure and going down.
Number 35 got him on the sack. Tim Oosley, freshman linebacker, came in, got the sack. That'll make it 4th and 10.
So the Polar Bears will punt. Clock continuing to run. Under 6 minutes to go. The only scoring this half, I believe, Matt, has been the field goal. Okay, we had a very high scoring offensive first half for the Polar Bears. They put up 38. And
well, they've scored 10. It was 31-3 at half.
Oh, you're right.
And they've scored 10 in the set, or in the 3rd.
Yeah, Logan Ray, 9-yard pass from Freed, and then the 32-yard field goal from Joe French. So Northern's outscored Muskingum 10-0 here in the second half. Another nice punt by
Good chance of
Bergman.
being,
Wow. Oh, it dropped right on the one. It'll bounce, but was a nice kick. Northern just couldn't down it down there, but 25-yard line or 20 is where Muskingum will start with 5:19 left.
Yeah, again, starting deep in their own territory. We'd like to thank our sponsors here on NKTelco Sports. We'd like to thank JR Auto Repair Service, 4 Seasons Drive-Thru, Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan, NKTelco, Minster Dental, Minster Bank, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Schwieterman's Pharmacy, Elmwood Assisted Living, 21st Century Kitchens, Radio Hospital, Weststaff, Cy Schwieterman, St. Mary's Trucking, and Francis Furniture. If you like what you see here on NKTelco Sports, you too can become a sponsor. Just dial 419-753-5000. Ask for Renee Arnold. We'll set up a time to shoot a commercial, and you too can be a sponsor on NKTelco Sports.
It's as easy as that.
It's easy as that.
And thank you to these fine sponsors that allow us to bring you this. And this is OAC College Football today here at Ada, Ohio, on the campus of The Ohio Northern University at Bill Robinson Field in Dial Roberson Stadium. Jeff Henshin alongside me today is Matt Everidge. Our camera person today is Tyler Wolf, Kurt Kuffner, and Anna Reinhardt.
That's a wide open
Anna
run.
Linhart. And he's tackled for a first down in our
15-yard gain. We're right up the middle for number 30.
Wilson had that opening catch of the game. Really thought there was going to be problems for the Polar Bears, if you will. A 55-yard catch Warren Wilson did to start the game. And after that, the defense really clamped down for the Polar Bears and have made it very difficult for the Muskies to muster any offense.
Yeah, they've been riding Wilson all day long. Definitely been a long day for that young man out on that football field. So now that brings us to 2nd and 8 from the 37, 4:41 and counting. ONU leading 41-3, well in control.
So the clock, 4.5 minutes to go.
2 weeks from today, as the Polar Bears will host Wilmington. That's a 1:30 kickoff.
All right,
at Dial Robertson Stadium.
2nd and 8.
Ball handed off again to Wilson right at the middle for 4.
Wilson, the ball carrier.
Going to be 3rd and 5.
Gain of 3.
Gain of 3.
For the Polar Bears.
So a nice little start here going. Got 20 yards under the belt.
Cameron Conaway. 3rd down, 5.
Clock goes under 4 minutes.
Play clock now winds at 25, and college football here at Division III, it's 25-second play clock. It winds on the official's whistle. Nearly picked. Good timing as in the area for the Polar Bears, Davon Johnson had visions of that one, just a step slow, but read it well and causes the incompletion.
Well, he was a step away from 7 points. Coming in now is going to be number 98. Austin Robinson, freshman defensive lineman from Fort Myers, Florida, getting his first action. 4th down and 5. They're going to go for it. Back to pass, dropped off.
It will be incomplete, so nice job defensively. I don't know if Wilson would have, even if he caught it, had enough to get the first down, but Polar Bears again will take over on downs with 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go, and I would probably, as you would think, Matt, probably a lot of ground action here and kind of get it done and get through the motions. And
you've done all the work in the first 45 minutes to earn a little bit of resting time here in the 4th. Just run it up and let the clock tick it away.
In the best position, get yourself where it can be victory formation. The win today for Ohio Northern will put them at 3-3 in Ohio Athletic Conference play, 3-4 overall. So right now, Mount Union, John Carroll, both 5-0.
They've yet to play each other this year.
Yes, that's correct. And I was looking, it's not today. Mount Union is playing Wilmington, and you got 5-0 Mount Union versus 0-5 Wilmington. I would assume Mount Union should win. And then Capital is at John Carroll. Now, Capital's 3-2 in the OAC. John Carroll is undefeated. But yeah, in the next, I'm trying to think, I wonder if that
it would
Mount
be
Union
3 weeks from today.
Yeah, because the Mount Union John Carroll game, because they play Muskingum these next 2 weeks. So yeah, boy, those teams could square off for a Week 10 showdown. Don't know where that game would be at, but you could have undefeateds versus undefeateds, and
it could mean a lot for the OAC.
Yeah, 2 ranked teams in the nation. But Ohio Northern, you know, only 4 home games this season here at Ada, and they're going to pick up their first win at home, suffering that loss to Mount Union earlier and then John Carroll last week. So they'll finish their They will finish their home season a week from today, or in 2 weeks.
It called for the hold, and that's going to take it back.
Ohio
Sorry,
Northern.
they're calling a false start. So 5 yards back.
Ohio Northern travels to Marietta next week, and then we'll be home for Wilmington, and then finish out the season at Baldwin-Wallace for the 2016 regular season.
Kept the ball, and he's going
nice
around.
Move.
That's a 9-yard, 10-yard pickup. Going to take us to 3rd and 17. That was run by number 11, Cody Cox.
I believe it was Keenan Lichty, the quarterback. So there's 2 number 11s. Cox is the defender, and this 11 is the offensive Keenan Lichty out of Huntington, Indiana, North High School.
Northern definitely deep in every position. A lot of double-digit numbers.
I believe they have a lot of numbers listed here, and I thought Tim Glon told me last week or the week before that they play over 100 guys a game, is what I thought he said. So, I mean, a lot of guys get in, and I'm not sure if that's what he meant or if they dress 100, but, a lot of guys get action, and a lot of guys on the roster, and you want to try to keep everybody happy, but you also have to earn your spot.
3rd down and 10 here, Northern.
Under 2 minutes to go. They got, like I said, the best position to be is earn the first down and get in victory formation.
And they're just 1 first down away from that.
A lateral backwards pass. Boy,
it's going to be
nice
open.
Move.
He is down to the 21.
Good quickness.
Just short.
Gets helped up by this big offensive lineman. Number 65, Garrett Newman, 6'3", coming over there to help up.
Here comes the kicking team. They're
The
going to
receiver,
attempt a
much
field
smaller.
goal.
So, field goal attempt here. Another kind of good workout, if you will. A chance to scrimmage. So go through your snap repetitions and get some good work. 30-yard field goal.
French still doing the kicking.
That one is good. 38-yard field goal. Sorry, 38. So French, a nice leg on that kick. The score now 44-3. We'll take a break. Come back with the final 51 seconds on NKTelco Sports.
At Four Seasons Drive-Thru, we offer weekly specials that are sure to satisfy all appetites. Monday through Thursday, come in to enjoy our daily lunch specials. Friday is our Get It Till It's Gone fish special. Friday and Saturday, grab a 16-inch 3-item pizza, 10 wings, and a 2-liter for just $20. Sunday, we also have a 3-piece chicken for $5 and a 16-piece for $20. Four Seasons Drive-Thru, great drinks, great food, wonderful service, and amazing prices.
Welcome back, Joe French. The field goal.
So that puts him 3 of 3 on field goals, 5 of 5 on extra points. They announced here that that was a record of some sort. I don't know if it's most points by a kicker in a game or what, but they just announced that that was a record that we just seen he broke. So lining up to kick the ball back off is going to be number 41, Tom Flesher. Back to receive the kickoff is going to be Desmond Wadden and Caleb Gators, 22 and 5. It's picked up by Gators. There's a nice hit.
And he will be stopped, and that is where, right around the 25-yard line, Muskingum will have 42 seconds to go. I want to remind everyone, our crew today, I've spoken advertently earlier, or get our people right here. We have Hank Doster, Anna Linhart, and Kurt Kuffner on our camera crew. Our production engineering staff today, Isaac Sell and Tyler Wolf. I'm Jeff Henshin. Next to me today was Matt Everidge. We brought to you today's football game between Muskingum and Ohio Northern, and it's been all ONU, the home team. Maybe, I don't want to say, take frustration, if you will, being taken out against Muskingum. They've played well today. Ohio Northern, tough loss last week. The turnover bug got them today. They've played clean. Very clean they have played today, and their defense has been phenomenal. And they're going to pick up a big win here today in front of a homecoming crowd. And again, really just I think, from my opinion, Matt, unless I'm missing something, an overall feel-good game. I don't know who could be upset from a Ohio Northern perspective today. I mean, as a coach here, I guess you're supposed to find something maybe you need to work on. But, boy, today I think everyone should be happy. A lot of players playing, making plays.
Well, I think they showed today why they was in the games against your conference leaders all the time. It seems like those two teams are always up to the top.
Yep. And you got to think another confidence builder as they continue to do well against unranked Division III teams is 82% winning percentage. They pad that today. They dominate today's performance. Your final score, Ohio Northern 44, Muskingum 3. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up here from Ohio Northern on NKTelco Sports.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier Sofa and Sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
As the players exchange handshakes, the Polar Bears are going to enjoy the rest of this weekend with a big win today against Muskingum. And again, dominating fashion today for Ohio Northern with our final stats. Matt, what do you have?
Well, leading rusher for Northern will be Hasselou, 17 carries, 84 yards, average 4.9. Will Freed with a breakout day, 23 for 36, 238 yards, 4 touchdowns, Long being 33. No interceptions. A couple of the big numbers that mark out the most, though, is the 2 turnovers by Muskingum did not help their situation, and giving up the ball for basically an additional quarter. But most of all, the red zone, once they got in the red zone, that being Ohio Northern, they was 6 of 6. In the red zone, they scored.
Well, that was numbers like that, 6 of 6 in the red zone, time of possession 35 minutes. Third downs turned out not to be so great, just 4 or 15, but some of those, came late in the game. But boy, dominating performance today by the Polar Bears, and not much more you can ask for as the numbers dominating fashion for the Polar Bears. So that'll wrap things up here from Ohio Northern. Once again, thanks for watching. Your final score, Ohio Northern 44, Muskingum 3. Thanks for watching here on NKTelco Sports.